Welcome in, welcome in, welcome, welcome, welcome in. Ape, yeah, yeah. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's good? What's goody? What's goody? Everybody's about to come up in cheer. Let's go, let's go. What's up, girl? Queen Trip is up in his house. What's up? We're live on Facebook. Well, about to be live on Facebook right now, actually. I'm just really quickly posting a story real fast. You know what I'm saying? Posting a little story real quick. You know what it is? You know what it is? Just posting a little story. You know? You know, you know. If you know, you know. Grand Rising Giggles, what's up? Melissa, how's it going? What's going down? What's going down? What's up, Grand Rising Monica? Just second, just second, just second, just second. What's up, guys? Hey, Melissa, what's up? We got 9 peeps up in here. Let's go. Sorry, I should have been more prepared, you guys. We're diving more up into this astral realm, the astral plane. If y'all are here for it, can we just get some third eyes up in the Twitch chat? If you're up on YouTube, we are on Twitch at Tripoverdrip. You see the chat that's over up on the stream is only the Twitch chat. YouTube, thank you for being here. Thank y'all for being my friend. Thank you for being a friend. Yeah, going back again. You're my very one. You're my friend and my confidant. Thank you for being a friend. Yeah. All right, now we're having to pull up. Now we're getting let's cheers everybody who's here. What's good? What's happening? How's it going? What's going down on this lovely Wednesday? What's happening on the Wednesday of all days? What's going down? Cheerio, mate. Can some of you guys maybe just hurry and switch over to Trip Over Drip on YouTube and just make sure that everything on YouTube is working the way that it's supposed to? I would very much appreciate that. If you do are the ones that hand over to Trip Over Drip on YouTube and you do check and see if it's working, if you could just drop something in the comment, like the video, just at least help that go and do. We're live on YouTube again. We're just going to keep going live on YouTube every single day. We go live on Twitch. There's no reason why I shouldn't be streaming on both platforms, but for some reason I have some mental and spiritual walls that have been up that have prevented my mind from being able to fully grasp the necessity of YouTube, because I still allow the fear that I have sometimes inside of me to control my behaviors. I too am just a human, just like all of you. Something that I still struggle with too, is that I still have some fear deep inside of me, bro. Some fear deep inside of me. But dude, we got a good one for y'all today. How's it going? Brittany, thank you guys for heading over to YouTube, hitting those buttons. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I drastically appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Cheerio, mate. Chim chim chiroo. I just like doing this every day and hanging out with you. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. I hope that you just like also hanging out with me. And stop. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chadoo. I'm sorry if you didn't bring extra underwear with you. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chidee. If you hang out for long enough, you'll shit your pants like me. All right, guys. Trisha, what's up? How's it going, Facebook? We got some new shit going down. We're over here live on Twitch. We're also live on YouTube. So if you wanted to just get out of Facebook and potentially go to Tripoverdrip on YouTube, you could also watch the live stream. I appreciate you guys for being here. Facebook, we will only be here for just a little while. The whole goal of the Facebook, if I'm just being 100% honest with you, is to get the traffic from you guys over to YouTube, over to Twitch, where we can really start to unravel the fabric of reality. Do you concur? Do you believe me when I say that? What's up, Australia? Australia's in the house. What's up, Australia? Australia's in the house. What's up, Australia? Australia's in the house. Hey, Preston Arbuckle, what's up? Just know that if you guys would rather and prefer to watch the live stream, not on Facebook, we are on YouTube and on Twitch at Tripoverdrip. Every day, you know, we be deep diving into the craziest of things. And so every single day, I really just try my best at the beginning of every stream to at least give you something spiritual that will satiate your soul, that will just fill your cup. So during this period of time when I'm doing these opening statements, I do clip these, right? I do clip this opening statement and then put them on my page. So something different that I'm going to do today than I had done the other days is today's clip is going to actually show the chat. So during this opening statement, if you guys could please just be so obliged, just blow up the Twitch chat so it looks like it's just going crazy on the stream. You know what I'm saying? Can I get a third eye in the chat if you guys can at least agree to doing something like that? Just comment emojis, just comment your thoughts, questions you might have, etc., etc. So let's get into this. This is your mindful message. Because you're not just a human trying to survive another day. You're a soul operating a whole stack of realities all at once. And let's remember this together. We're taught at a very young age, life is just to wake up, work, scroll, sleep. But beneath that routine, you're moving through 4 planes every single moment. The physical plane, the etheric plane, the astral plane, and the mental plane. And deeper than all of them is you. I'm meaning the real you. The one that was here before the story and that will still be here after the story. So let's talk about this physical plane. Cheers. Where spirit becomes tangible. This is easiest to see your body, your heartbeat, your breath, your home, your job, your relationships. It's the realm of solid reality. But spiritually, the physical is where the invisible becomes touchable. Let me say that one more time. Spiritually, this physical realm is where the invisible becomes touchable. A thought becomes a message. Compassion becomes a hand on somebody's shoulder. Faith becomes a step you take when you're scared. Your body is not just meat and bones. It's a sacred instrument. And every time you feed it with care, rest it with respect, move it with intention, you're telling the universe, I honor the form you gave my soul to travel in. Which one of you guys that might be out there right now that can feel and resonate the same thing with me? that I honor the form the universe gave my soul to travel in. Okay, so, excuse me. Let's talk about the etheric plane, or ether, right? Your life force grid. Just behind the physical sits the etheric field, your subtle energy body. You can't see it with your eyes, but every single one of us, and just please affirm in the comments if that's you, you've been able to feel it for a long time. That drained feeling after certain environments, that instant uplift, the instant uplift you have when you're around certain people, the mysterious peace in nature or sacred spaces. This is the battery that powers your physical realm. When you breathe deeply into your belly, or step into sunlight, or feel the cold air night, or take a real break from screens and the noise, or let yourself fully rest, you're not being lazy, bro. Let me tell you that again. You're not being lazy. You're reweaving your etheric field. Your energy is not an accident. It's literally a language, and most people don't even understand this language, because low energy can be your soul saying, refuel, bro. Hey, I need to reconnect. Hey, you need to come back to yourself, because your divine power is here to treat your energy like something holy, not disposable. And for far too long, it seems as if us humans just give away our energy like it's $1, or like it's like something we have to do that we familiarize with paying our bills. And then there's the astral plane, your emotional and dream realm. The dimension of emotion, imagination, and dreams. This is where your grief swirls like storms, where your where your joy glows like sunrise, your fear casts shadows, your desires pulse like distant stars. It's the place you visit in dreams, the place where your soul speaks in symbols instead of sentences. A reoccurring dream, a feeling that won't go away, a memory that returns with new meaning, those aren't glitches, bro. They're messages from the inner ocean. You're not weak because you feel deeply. You're tuned into an entire plane of existence that most people just seem day to day that they're numbed out to. Your spiritual work is to do this, to let your emotions move instead of hardening around them, to listen to what your sadness, anger, longing, or joy is trying to show you, to give your inner voice a voice through words, art, tears, prayers, and silence. Every emotion you process with love becomes light added back to your field. Can we get some third eyes in the chat? Every emotion you process with love becomes light that you add back to your field. And above all of that is the mental plane, the realm of thoughts and beliefs. Here, every thought is like a brushstroke. Every belief is like a pillar. I am not enough. I'm always alone. Nothing ever works out for me. Those aren't just statements, bro. On the mental plane, they are structures you end up they are structures that you end up living inside. But so are, I am growing. I am guided. I am worthy of good things. I am allowed to outgrow my past. When you repeat those with sincerity, you're rebuilding the architecture of your inner universe. This isn't pretending. This isn't just some woo-woo, wah-wah, BBD, boo-boo. It's choosing which temple you worship every single day. Is it the temple of fear, or is it the temple of truth? Please comment whatever one that you're choosing today. Your mind, though, is not your enemy. It is a powerful tool that was never meant to run wild without your awareness. Your spiritual power here is to step into authorship, to choose gently but firmly what gets to live rent-free inside of your head. Now here's the part that is going to feed your soul. You can notice your body, and you can notice your energy, and you can notice your emotions, and you can notice your thoughts, but you can't notice them all. You are more than them. And there's still a point behind all of this, a witness, a soul, the spirit, pure awareness. Mystics call this the higher plane, or the spiritual plane, the self, the divine spark. It's the part of you that has watched you fall and get back up, has been with you in every single version that you have held on to throughout your life, remembers your original wholeness even when your conscious mind seems to forget. Nothing that happens on the physical, the etheric, the astral, or the mental planes can damage this core of your soul. It can be covered, it can be forgotten, it can be ignored, but there's absolutely no way that it can be broken. And this is the you that I'm talking to right now. When you remember these planes, your life stops feeling like random chaos. You start to see that my body hurts means the physical plane needs care. My energy is off. The etheric plane needs restoration. My emotions are intense. The astral plane is asking to be heard. My thoughts are dark. The mental plane is asking for new truth. And through all of it, your soul is not going to be, for 1 second, judging you. It's inviting you, bro. It's inviting you to be kinder to your body, to be gentler with your energy, to be honest with your emotions, to be intentional with your thoughts. Every small act of awareness is spiritual. That's why the present moment is called a gift. Every time you choose compassion over self-hate, you're lifting all 4 planes a little closer to the vibration of your soul. So right now, let your soul breathe. Take a moment with me for just a second and feel your body, the weight, the temperature, the contact with the chair or the floor that you're on. And then immediately sense your energy. Tired? Is it buzzing? Do you feel calm or do you feel scattered? And just notice it. Become aware and sense your energy. Or you could just notice your emotional tone today. Is it sad, hopeful, numb, peaceful? You have to name it without judging it. And then watch your thoughts. See one drift by and let it go without chasing it. Now, underneath all of that, feel the simple truth. I am. Not I am failing. Not I am behind. Not I am broken. It's just I am. That I am is your soul. That I am is the same presence that has walked through every storm, every dark night, every rebirth, and is still here, fully intact, quietly powerful. And when life seems heavy, just remember this. That heaviness is one layer, not the whole of you. You are a body on the physical plane, a field of light in the etheric plane, a deep ocean of feeling in the astral plane, a temple of thought on the mental plane, held together by a soul that is older, wiser, and more loving than you've ever been taught to believe. You're not just a human reaching for the divine. You are the divine, learning to live as a human on every plane, in every moment, starting right now. Can I get an amen and potentially just a couple deep breaths? Because I'll repeat that again. You are not just a human reaching for the divine. You are the divine learning to live as a human on every plane, in every moment, starting right now. We are not here as humans having a spiritual experience. I hope that I can do everything in my power to help you deep into your core with every fiber of your being come to understand that we are eternal souls that have been here for a long time, spirits that have chose to come here and have a human experience. I love you. How was that one, huh? Was I cooking? Was it on? Can we get some fire emojis if we got them? Dang. Hey, Facebook, what's up? You guys can actually catch us on Twitch or YouTube at Tripoverdrip. We're going to be here for most of the morning. I love you. Peace out. Let him cook. Let him cook. How are y'all, motherfuckers? What's up there? What's up there? What's up, motherfucker? What's up, motherfucker? What's up, motherfucker? What's happening? What's going down? I think I'm shadow banned. Did you know? It's kind of crazy that Facebook Live only had 60 views. Weird. So I think they be fucking trying to fuck with me, bro. I think they be trying to. You can't hold me down. Cause I'ma keep on moving. You know what I mean? That's really like something that us content creators definitely have to fucking figure out, bro, is you just got to keep going, bro, no matter what the Matrix does. No matter what the Matrix does. How are y'all doing today? What's going down in the hood? What's goody in the hoodie? Shit, boy. Shit, boy. Shit, motherfucker. Are you guys ready to get into this? Are you guys ready to dive right back into the astral realm? Dude, that's why, if you notice, that's why today's little mindful message today was regarding the stuff we were kind of learning yesterday. You know what I mean? I tried my best to connect it. You know what I mean? Dude, P-Wiz, you're such a badass motherfucker, bro. 1 week with no tobacco. Let's go, bro. I'm so proud of you. Can everybody just show some support and some love for P-Wiz? 1 week without tobacco. We've got other people up in here quitting vapes and stuff. We all are on this constant grind, you know what I'm saying, for self-betterment. Always just on this path of healing and spirituality, trying our best to always just remember the one and most important thing, bro. It's just try and do better than we did yesterday, bro. Hey, it's okay if you're watching alone on YouTube, bro. It starts with 1, then there'll be 20, then there'll be 50. So I appreciate you just being the only one showing some love on YouTube, player. I appreciate that so fucking much. You have no idea, bro. I actually need to go right over here and just switch out of this account over here, come back up over to, oh, I got 712 followers on YouTube. What's up? Let's go. I got 3 followers today, dude. Damn, let's go, bro. Let's go, bro. Hit this right here. Hit the share. Hit copy link. Go up over on the YouTube. Go like this, live on YouTube. For some reason, it seems like everybody got YouTube, you know what I mean? Be right back. Okay. What's up, C. Porter? I see you, player. What's up, G? What's up, dude? Cheers, dude. Cheers, dude. I don't know why. I just got this little Grogu still sitting right here, bro. I got the little Grogu Minogu. But let's let this shit go. Let's let him start. Let's let Mind Unveiled cook.
A chair exists in the physical realm as a physical object that you can...
I did rewind just a little bit. I think we're more like maybe right up here. I think that was a picture we seen last. So we'll just rewind just a little bit just to recap. C. Porter, thank you for being on a 10 stream streak, bro. Means a lot. Thank you so much, player. You guys be showing me more love than I felt in a long time. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. I just fucking my wife shows me so much support and love, but there's also just like a different energy, player. You know what I mean? Just like a different type of energy when it comes to this live streaming community that I've got on my side, bro. I don't know, it makes me feel even more divine than I do.
And astral vision are useful skills and should be practiced as an art or an instrument. But no, the fearful interpret this ability as opening a portal to demon communication. There is demon communication happening whether you realize it or not. Negativity itself can be a demon. These psychic abilities simply show what is hidden beyond the material realm. Are we to conclude that the occult is all but fantasies of a madman? Or that the occult is nothing but demon worshippers? That the ancients were just fanatics? There was a reason that the mystery schools were developed, and it was to hide special abilities of man. If we realize what we are, then each person would have access to a divine power. That power was in conflict with the ruling church, and so it was controlled. They created the religions as it is practiced today. It was based on true ancient spiritual principles from the mystery schools that then had to be accessed through a certain doorway under specific conditions. Heaven is a specific realm on the astral. Hell.
Wait a second. We got to just go back just a little tiny bit.
Power. That power was in conflict with the ruling church, and so it was controlled. They created the religions as it is practiced today. It was based on true ancient spiritual principles from the mystery schools that then had to be accessed through a certain doorway under specific conditions. Heaven is a specific realm on the astral. Hell is a lower realm in the astral.
Okay, I just got to bring this in real quick because we got to make some connections about heaven and hell, right? Before we even get into this astral lens of heaven and hell. So can we all just agree in real time right now that they're just states of being? That you can reach heaven at any given time. That's why this figure, Yeshua, told all of us that heaven, or the kingdom of heaven, is inside. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have to take into consideration what we kind of know about like how the universe works, especially in the lens of the Hermetic principles, right? Like, let me ask you a question, and I genuinely just want to know what your answer is. Is there good and evil in the animal kingdom outside of the human species? Please just take a few seconds to really ponder that question. Is there good and evil in the animal kingdom outside of the human species? So potentially if there's like, let's say some bird, right? And they survive strictly off of eating eggs, okay? So they have to sneak into another bird's nest and eat their eggs. Now, if we eat babies, it's completely and utterly evil and demonic. But that bird eating babies, it's a little bit different. There's no I don't know how to say it. I think that's one thing that makes us separate from all the other animals on planet Earth, is that we have the ability to perceive these energetic states, where I think most other animals, at least as far as we understand, except for dolphins, save the dolphins. Can we just all tap in, save the dolphins, man? I fucking for real hope that we can just figure this out, bro, because we need to save the dolphins, because supposedly there's rumors that they're training dolphins to be kamikaze dolphins, bro. And regardless of what you believe about the war, whether the war is justified or not, it's hard for me to just grasp the idea of potentially building a bond with a dolphin enough to where they will listen and be able to be trained, and then you're ultimately just training them to self-exit. It just kind of just seems really fucked up to me, bro. I really just like all the animals, bro. I love them all. I love all the humans. I love all the animals. I love all the plants. I just love this place we live in. It's just so beautiful and vibrant and majestic and magical and divine all at one time, every single second of the day, if you're perceiving this reality through that same lens. So it just makes me sad to know that, that there are animals out there that aren't just living their natural timeline. The dolphin is born and just lives in the ocean and does what all dolphins do, and then it just passes away naturally. You know what I mean? You're right, we are next. Why do you think they put graphene in the vaccine, and then 6G is going to fucking control your mind, allegedly? I guess this would also be a good time to just specify that anything that is said on this channel is all my personal opinion. Everything that's said is all allegedly. I have no actual idea, even though I try to watch as much as I possibly can and understand reality as much as I possibly can. I still don't get things right. I do believe in Bigfoot and conspiracy theories, and so you have to take everything I say with a grain of salt. Of course, do all your own research. Make sure that the people and the things that and where you're doing your research is energetically true, as well as provides resources, and you have can energetically believe the individuals, not just their words, because words lie, energy doesn't. But let's get back into this. I know, I feel like now that I'm on YouTube, bro, that I just have to specify it, and I will have to specify it this is just a live creation of doing my own research. This is just me doing research and just watching things and learning things and talking about things, and it just so happens to all be live streamed. You know what I mean? So realistically, all this is you guys coming to hang out with me while I like to do research and learn about things that I like to learn. And collectively, we have built such a strong community that now we are just like collectively learning things together. So if you're new here, welcome in. We love you. Please don't be shy. Comment something. Let us know that you're here so everybody can give you a warm welcome with arms wide open. You know what I'm saying? So we can be like fucking Jack on fucking or what's her name? Fucking on Titanic, where she's like and Jack is all standing there on the Titanic like holding her, you know, and she's like at the end with arms wide open. Rose, yep, that's her name. You're right. Thank you, Monica.
We go through our lives taking in a variety of different beliefs.
All right, you guys have already been down here for 30 minutes. You can already guess probably what time it is before I just jumped right back up over here as I gotta go get some coffee. Look, there I am, live streaming on YouTube. What's up, dude? That's sick. I got to potty, get some coffee. I mean, live streaming on YouTube, bro. Whoa, it's there I am, dude. YouTube. There was this Breaking Points video that came out the other day that I didn't watch, but I want to show you guys. It is this one. Where is it? There was something about Epstein, bro. About some letter. Right here, secret note.
Turning now.
I'm going to speed this up so you guys can catch a little bit more of it. But I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. Get some coffee. I'll be right back. Thank y'all for being here. I truly love every one of you. Peace out. I'll be back in a sec.
To Jeffrey Epstein, shocking piece of news that we've now learned after some 7 years. Let's go and put this up here on the screen. Jeffrey Epstein's possible suicide note was hidden from public view. Interesting, huh? So you've had the release of all of these different Epstein files. You've had all this testimony, OIG reports from the Department of Justice. It's been, so many years now, 7 years almost to the day, since Epstein allegedly killed himself. Let's just say died in federal custody. And in all that time period, we did not know this basic fact. A suicide note purportedly written by Epstein in his jail cell has been kept secret now, locked up in a New York courthouse. A cellmate said he discovered the note in July 2019 after Epstein was found unresponsive with a strip of cloth around his neck. Epstein survived that incident, but weeks later was found dead in the jail. The note was eventually sealed by a federal judge as a part of the cellmate's own criminal case. That means investigators scrutinizing his death lacked what would have been a key piece of evidence. On Thursday, the Times petitioned a judge to unseal the note, which said it was, quote, time to say goodbye, the cellmate recalled. While the cellmate mentioned that note on a podcast last year, the scrawled message has remained hidden from public view, even at a time of unprecedented transparency. And since December, the Justice Department has released all of these pages, millions of pages of documents. The Times has not seen the note. They can't find it in the Epstein files. The DOJ said the agency had not even seen it. But a cryptic 2-page chronology in the records, and this was credit again to the Times for finding this, became tangled up. The chronology says that the lawyers authenticated the note, though it does not explain how. If it was written by Epstein, the message would provide insights into his state of mind in the weeks before he died hanging from a bunk bed. And the DOJ said that in response to a federal law, they underwent an exhaustive effort to find all the records in possession. So basically, as of right now, it's not coming out. It's sealed up.
Weird. If Jeffrey Epstein wrote a suicide note that they hid from the public, it just leads me to believe it's the same type of energy that they hid from the public that George Floyd, when he was first approached by the police officers, literally had fentanyl balloons inside of his mouth when he was arrested. It just seems weird that, you know what I'm saying, that it seems as if these pretty important stories that are being twisted and allegedly the narrative is being controlled. It just seems weird that all of a sudden now there's like a suicide note for Mr. Epstein. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we've come to realize now, I need to ask right now before we even continue. Is there anybody in the chat? Let me bring you close for this. so I can come over here, bring you in close, switch out the screen, back over to the documentary or the astral plane video. Bring you in close, nice and close, boy. Y'all don't believe the bullshit they said about George Floyd, right? Y'all can't believe that there were riots after George Floyd, but not riots when we found out that pedophiles run the world. So is that a clear description of human behavior, saying that humans don't care about the fact that pedophiles run the world? Or could we just like use our third eye and possibly be able to see that maybe that situation, as tragic as it was for obviously the person who lost his life and et cetera, that it might be possible that allegedly that all of the riots were actually bought and paid for by NGOs that were trying to create racial division in our country, that they expedited this racial situation and blasted it all over everywhere to make the individual that sees the news headline choose deep to their core, into their identity, are they with what happened or are they against what happened? And it would seem that it would be kind of hard at that moment in time to speak out, like say, hey, wait a second. Isn't this guy like a multi-convicted felon of robbery and beating his significant other and drug dealing? And wait a second, wasn't there body cam footage that was not given at the time, but later showing what leads me to believe that he had a mouthful of drugs in his mouth when he was first approached by the police officers? And there's just a lot of fucked up things about all of that, right? Okay, Janice, DM me on Discord and we'll get that taken care of. She bought some crystals to donate so that we can do crystal giveaways on our Sunday live streams. Who the fuck is down for a crystal giveaway, bro? A crystal giveaway, bro? Oh, Thomas, what's up, Thomas? Thank you, bro. Sometimes you and Janice be switching up switching up the platform, bro. So sometimes I don't know if it's you, but thank you, Thomas, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everybody. So yeah, if you have some crystals or some stuff that you potentially want to donate to give away on our live streams to the Tripoverdrip Team Human community, DM me on Discord. If you don't have Discord, well, then it looks like you're going to have to get in the Discord. Let me go ahead and just, babe, if you're still in here, we need to fix the Discord thing in Twitch, but I'll drop the Discord link in the chat. It also helps me like this. Let me pin it. Discord's pinned to the top of the chat. If you're not in the Discord, please join up in the Discord. We got a whole bunch of people. It is through Stream Elements. You're right. You're right. Let me see here. I'm trying to. This is being silly, bruh. Let me go like this. You probably do need to start selling little odds and ends. I can exit out of that. There you go. If you're on YouTube, here's the Discord. Yeah. The copper bracelet's taking so long. They sent you extras. I appreciate that. Hell yeah, I want one of those copper bracelets. Can I have one and then give one away? Or can me and Queen Trip have the copper bracelets with magnets? I really want one of those. Hell yeah. I guess never mind. They're for the team. I guess I'll have to put my name up in there. I'm going to have to do, I'm going to do it just like everybody else. When we give them away, I'm going to do an exclamation point ticket as well and try and win the raffle the same. Just like everybody else. It seems fair to me. I'll do the exclamation point ticket as well. All right, let's get back into the doc.
Throughout our lifetime and on the astral. Hell is a lower realm in the astral. We go through our lives taking in a variety of different beliefs throughout our lifetime, and But ones we hold on to the most, or the beliefs that we focused on the most, is what gets transferred to the astral. Consider this to be in comparison with dreams, as it is the same realm. As people grow older, if they do not keep these skills in check, they begin to lose the ability to recall their dreams. This can be because the astral is a reflection very similar to that of the physical realm they are currently experiencing. They become a part of the matrix, you could say, as they become asleep and follow similar patterns of consciousness. The lack of curiosity of internal sensations is what leads to a stagnant dream life. A child is one who usually experiences the most fantastical dreams, and it's because their bodies are exploring many different planes.
That's just like a weird art, isn't it? That's like weird art for real.
Of consciousness and creating a variety of different imaginative realities. Now, on each of these planes, there are different divisions. The grossest, or the lowest vibration of the astral plane, is the lower astral. This is where lower vibrational thoughts and negative ideals are created on this level. The ideas of hell or even patterns of the material realm can be reflected onto this lower astral, which is but a reflection of the physical. This is where dreams most of the time take place in the individuals who are asleep in the material plane, meaning they are void of curiosity. The middle astral.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the crystal chat actually now that you've talked about it, Monica.
Astral is where the imagination really takes place in its fullest form. Imaginative dreams, fantasies, and all sorts of endless possibilities take place here. There is a balance between negative and positive forces, and this is where most of our dreams take place. A better way to say this is that we actually are living multiple bodies at once, or multiple lives at once. We have another life on the astral, and as you begin to practice the art of astral projection, the more you will recall about this other life that you have as an astral being. You have learned many things there. This is not just the imagination, but it is the collective unconsciousness that connects all archetypal concepts into a fluid-like reality that can be experienced with great lucidity. Here's one of the major first mind blows for the occultist. You begin exploring your consciousness. You travel the etheric realms locally, and then you travel as far as you can astrally. And at the beginning, this is usually just a representation to what you see in your day-to-day life. So you may astral project and be in your neighborhood or whatnot. But there comes a time once you travel so far outside of the etheric and lower astral planes that you begin to open a door that will open you to something that's actually outside of your consciousness. It's like you're searching as far as you can inside of yourself, and you reach a door that actually leads to a universe that exists on its own, without you and with beings that inhabit it that seem to possess more intelligence than that of the conscious viewer themselves. This is what is happening on psychedelics. The shaman or modern psychoanalyst.
Before we get into the psychedelic part, can I just ask, has everybody at least experienced some plant medicine? I just want to get a kind of a good understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like who is it? Who are the vets? Who are the newbies? Who are the trainings? The ones in training? You know what I'm saying? Because and there's no right answer. You know what I mean? There's no right or wrong answer. Everybody's on their own spiritual journey. I just kind of want to get a poll, you know, if that makes sense. Okay. See, it's all right to be a newbie, bro. It's all right to be a newbie, but I hope that we can continuously just do whatever we can to energetically encourage you to take the leap of faith that it takes to do that. You know what I mean?
Themselves. This is what is happening on psychedelics. The shaman or modern psychoanalyst shot up into the higher astral, and usually the plant or man-made substance has a consciousness of its own.
Just a second. I'm gonna play just that breaking points thing again. I gotta go put my dog in her cage. I let them stay upstairs because I don't like to keep them in the cage for hours. But she's just tripping out. So we'll just keep playing this. We're just gonna keep playing this for a second.
In this particular case, this guy is now currently serving 4 life sentences, and he's pursuing an appeal. As long as that's an appeal, it's going to remain sealed. Like we said, I mean, he claims it was just a scrawled note, time to say goodbye. I mean, maybe. I don't know. By the way, you know, guy serving 4 life sentences, and so Epstein, okay?
No,
like somebody with, you know,
it's a very important detail.
Situation.
So this guy is a former cop who was convicted of drug trafficking and murder of 4 different people. That's why his sentence is so extensive. So why was he Epstein's cellmate to begin with is question number 1. Number 2, I have a lot of questions about this story. It's eyebrow raising. He's the one who found the note. And they claim, oh, we verified, we confirmed it was totally Epstein's handwriting. Can you see it? No, you can't see it, but just take our word for it. So I don't know. But interesting reporting from the Times here at the existence of this. You know, if it was released, of course, you could have independent analysis that was done, handwriting confirmation to see whether or not this note was legitimate. Obviously, the content of this alleged suicide note, you know, if he truly did pen a suicide note saying, hey, I'm out of here and thanks for the good times or whatever it is that this note contains, obviously that would be very significant in terms of helping to affirm or rebut some of the conspiracies around the death of Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. So anyway, a lot of questions remain on that one. At the same time, this is crazy. Put D2 up on the screen. Apparently, Republicans are split on the idea of clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell. So you've got Republicans on this House panel who are trying to sell this bill of goods that, oh, we'll grant her clemency. We'll have Trump grant her clemency, and then she will testify and she will hand in all of the perpetrators, and it will help us with our investigation. I mean, of course, the victims are. Of course, this is a disgusting idea. Of course, it's an insane idea because you're going to try.
Yeah, fuck her. I swear to God, if there's not a riot over her pardon, then there's never going to be any uprising, bro. Because to be dead ass with you, bro. Dude, if they pardon her, it's the end of us, bro. It's the end. If they pardon her, bro, the pedophiles won, bro. Can I just get some affirmations, please? Because if they dead ass pardon her, the pedophiles win. If she's even still in prison and not in Canada or something.
That then is manipulating the experience to assist or punish the user. I've heard of Datura stories where people have experienced shared visuals. These experiences are inner experiences, but they translate outside of ego, which is what makes these experiences so shocking. You basically die and experience higher dimensions of consciousness. It's like the feeling of going back home. It's a projection. Be careful exploring too much, as there is a reason why you are here on the physical plane. This knowledge is of the utmost importance, but one must not devote all their time to astral matters. The true and the magician elements are fundamental. The easiest way to begin to connect with the astral is through meditation and keeping a journal.
The easiest way to access the astral is through meditation and keeping a journal. Interesting.
This will influence dream recall and eventually will lead to lucid dreaming. Lucid dreams are not technically astral projection because in astral projection, the consciousness must experience all the way throughout, no falling asleep involved. If one was to start writing in a journal of their dreams daily, even if nothing, just write nothing, then sooner or later, you will be writing pages. Just keep thinking about it before you go to bed. You can influence lucid dreams in many ways, but this is more of a breakdown on how the astral plane works and how to access it consciously. We have fire, water, air, and earth. Akasha being spirit. Fire and water being higher elements, and air, the distribution between these higher principles, all coalesce into the element earth or gross material.
Oh my goodness. I just made a connection, bro. Maybe it's just me. But what if the reason Melania Trump is coming out and speaking against Epstein, saying, I didn't know this person, we were not friends, etc., is because that's how they're going to guarantee the win, or at least attempt to guarantee the win, bro. Next. I guess that's true. She is his Russian honeypot, allegedly. At least that's what the internet leads me to believe.
In order to safely project into the astral plane, one must learn to come in contact with these basic principles. It seems silly to one who is coming from the modern worldview, but these elements are an attempt to classify all manifestation into their basic attributes. The homunculus legend of a man created within a jar is a
Can we just put homunculus in the chat?
perfect example of occult hidden knowledge. Paracelsus was encoding a secret esoteric teaching, which was how to create another man, or body.
Wow, this shit looks way different now that we watched the homunculus one, huh?
In which you can travel into the astral realm. This body is called the body of light. More to be explained. In the oldest book of wisdom, the Tarot, something has already been written about this great mystery of the elements. The first card of this work represents the magician pointing to the knowledge and mastery of the elements.
I'll be right back. Jeez.
On this first card, the symbols are the sword as a fiery element, the rod as the element of the air, the goblet as that of the water, and the coins as the element of the earth.
Yeah, that was my footsteps walking on it, bro. If you could hear my footsteps, dude. Crazy.
This proves without any doubt that already in the mysteries of yore, the magicians were destined for the first tarot card, mastery of the elements having been chosen as the first act of initiation. Akasa is the so-called quintessence of the 4 other grossly elements. Each element has 2 polarities.
Can any of you guys make a connection to the Akashic records?
An active and
If you really actually go back here and look at all of this, if you look at the Akash, which is before ether, and then ether then goes into the elements, it seems affirming to me in real time to see it like this and make the connection to what I know the Akashic records are. The Akashic records are basically the data and the information that is available for all of time, for everything that ever existed, has existed, does exist, will exist. It's all in the Akashic records.
4 other grossly elements. Each element has 2 polarities, an active and passive, or positive and negative.
Did I explain that right, Melissa?
The principle the quintessence of the 4 other grossly elements. Each element has 2 polarities, an active and passive, or positive and negative. The principle of fire. According to the Oriental scriptures, the first element born from Akasa is believed to be the element of fire. The basic qualities of the fiery principle are heat and expansion. In the Bible we read, "There shall be light," light coming from fire. Each element has 2 polarities, thus fire has a good and an evil side. We have fire that can be healing, such as the light from our sun that gives energy and fuel to all living beings. Or the negative, which can be destruction and burning.
I kind of like the point he made about the polarity of fire.
The principle of water. Water also comes from Akasa. It's the same as fire in that each element has a life-giving principle and a destructive dividing principle. The basic qualities are coldness and shrinkage. Water can also be seen as darkness in contrast to the fire element. Water is required for life to live, but it can be dark, cold, and desolate, such as deep in the ocean. The principle of air. Another element derived from Akasa is that of air. The initiated do not regard this principle as a real element, but they grant it as role of a mediator between the fiery and watery principles, becoming a neutral equilibrium. Through the active and passive elements of fire and water, life has now become animated. When we speak of fire, water, and air, they are not to be regarded as ordinary elements such as physical fire or water in a glass or the air we breathe, but in the case of the elements, they are universal qualities of all elements concerned. They are the basic principles of life: expansion, constriction, electric, magnetic, positive, negative, and balance and animation. The element of earth. It was said that air does not represent a true element, and the same is true for earth. Out of the interaction of the 3 aforesaid elements, the earthy principle has been born as the last element, which by its specific quality, the solidification, involves all 3 elements. It is this elemental earthly quality that allows us to put a concrete form on all of the aforesaid elements. The action of the 3 elements have been limited with the result of space, measure, and weight and time having been born. The reciprocal action of the 3 elements together with that of the earth, thus, has become tetrapolar, so that the earthy principle may be labeled as a 4-pole magnet. This is the subjective becoming objective. The realization this element represents, it shall be. Now, one can then connect to each element and gain the approval of each archangel that resides within the spirit of each element. These fundamentals can be used in magic for creating a second man, or the homunculus.
Shout out homunculus. We got one right here, dude. We got one right here, dude. In the bowl, dude.
The astral light. in which you can transfer your
The cool thing about when we watch videos like this and talk about the homunculus, they're dead ass. There's like hella people that have no idea and will never even come to understand what that is or who it is or how it is or where it is until they come across us, bro.
consciousness to
Agreed, babe. Let's add the clear layer today. Let's finish off the homunculus and set them up where they're supposed to go.
and create a body that not only can be manipulated in first person, but can be assigned its own.
Like, I have to bring y'all in close for this, bro. Do you vibrate in this energy that this fucking homunculus shit that we experience together it dead ass feels like an initiation into some secret fucking crazy stuff? Because if you really, I don't know, until you're like an expert on it, but you know about it, it just seems as if like it's almost inevitable to like have conversations with people who don't know about the homunculus and try to get them to grasp the full picture. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as if like we have seen things that now we can't unsee. And forever and all of time, anytime I talk about history, my mind just sees things through a different lens now because I know in my soul that the history we have been taught is not the truth and that there's been lots of knowledge that has been hidden. And potentially the creation of humans and Adam and Eve is not correct. Potentially the biggest conspiracy of all, which is Yeshua, is very fabricated and changed. What magic is and occult actually is and what they actually believe, and we're in a spiritual war of God beings and demons. That's pretty much what it is, right? I mean, if you're here and you've been here for any amount of time, you definitely can resonate with me when I say that we are the God beings, right? We, the humans, we can now understand that potentially there's clones, there's reptiles, there's homunculus everywhere. So Team Human actually does kind of signify and mean something, right? I hope, if anything, that's just at least what Team Human resonates with you, is that, fuck, man, at least there might be fucking aliens, Bigfoots, fucking lizard people, fucking straight fucking demons, homunculus, clones fucking running around everywhere through genetic cloning, not even through alchemy in the homunculus. Team Human is it is what it is, you know what I mean? Because I can acknowledge that every single person up here on Team Human is an actual fucking human, you know what I mean? Because if you're not an actual human, for one, you probably don't have the same questions that all of us Team Human people have. And then if you're also not a human, you probably would just come up in here and we'd be able to very quickly see who's not human and who is by who just jumps in here and starts fucking trying to say crazy shit or fucking just spread random negativity or et cetera, right? Because a real human, bro, is not the human who succumbed to the programming where we're supposed to hate people because we disagree. Real humans are always interested in learning. And so if you are always interested in learning, you have to take into consideration that you're going to have to listen to people that have conflicting views. Otherwise, the possibility to even enter the arena of gaining actual knowledge is not available to you. Can I get some third eyes if you guys agree with that?
Individual consciousness. This astral light can be used to create a variety of astral forms, but we must wait in time. There's still much to learn about this delightful plane that is well known to the elite mages, but hidden and mysterious to the neophyte. You see, the reason people are experiencing sleep paralysis is because sometimes they use methods that force an astral.
Has anyone here experienced sleep paralysis? I never have before, so I'm just asking and just wondering because I would like to know what it's like and can maybe get a little bit of information regarding what it is. I do know that sleep paralysis is basically where you're awake but you can't move. It's almost like you're asleep but awake. If I'm understanding correctly, that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Experience when they're not ready. This forced astral separation can cause a shock to the system, and sometimes the user is not conscious throughout the projection. They are practicing repeating visuals or some type of exercise to influence the third eye, and at one point, They fade out and wake up again once this astral separation is happening. There are many variables, but a good conclusion would be that these are shadows that have yet to be faced, or fears manifesting themselves immediately. I know for a fact that these forms can be changed simply by the power of imagination, but in some individuals, it's so shocking to be out of your body and being faced with mental thought forms face to face. They are very real, but at the same time, they do not have power over you. One way to protect yourself is through ritual. If you're going to learn to project into the astral, then you need to consider yourself a magician.
We got some magicians in here. We got some wizards. We got witches in here or what? What's up, dude? You already know what time it is. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you already know I'm a wizard, bro. I'm obsessed with wizards. We got magical people up in here, bro. People that don't give a fuck what society says and just steps into their inner divinity, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? They step into their inner divinity, and when you find your inner divinity, just an easy way to categorize the fact that you are magical and spiritual and divine and cosmic, all wrapped into a meat suit. You pretty much you can vibrate with what people would call a witch or a wizard or a warlock or sorceress or sorcerer.
It seems crazy, right? But only to those who aren't educated in such matters. For once you begin to become disciplined in this art, the magician will learn for himself that there are methods to influencing events on the material realm simply through an astral magic ritual itself. Magic, again, is just a tool. Whether you're aware of it or not.
I need to know, we can affirm right now, magic is just a tool. It can be used for good and evil, correct? That's why we can say that even if Jesus was a homunculus, it's still profound and just almost obviously divine that if he was created artificially and then still after his creation came to earth and still provided the message that Yeshua provided, it still means that magic is not evil, because if Yeshua came out of magic, then the demons can come out of magic. Magic is just like a butter knife. You can use it to spread butter or you can use it to take fucking knife hits.
You do?
Or hurt someone with it, right? Obviously, it's just a tool.
Do astral magic every day. Simply through an astral magic ritual itself. Magic, again, is just a tool.
How would you alchemize financial luck? Let me bring you in for this. Buddy. We're going to bring you all up in close. Well, first off, how you alchemize financial luck is you have to realize that these coins that we get in this video game that we volunteered to play is all based off of energy transfer. You transfer energy somewhere inside of this matrix in some capacity, and there is an energy transfer that happens where you get coins, right? So once you realize it's actually just whatever energy you put in is, as long as it's aligned with your heart and your purpose, then the financial aspect, the energy will just attract to you continuously giving out energy. That's one thing that people have been programmed to believe, that we live in this realm, and this realm has specifically been designed as a popularity contest and who can have the highest number in their bank account of these coins when they pass away. When you start to you start to perceive reality through the lens that you get these coins through an energy transfer, and then you also understand that the universe is all based off of energy, and the universe is never going to give you what you want. It always will give you what you are, because our human minds want anything that we could possibly think of. It actually gives us how we vibrate. So our vibration attracts what is necessary. Whether you always perceive the negative in things, the universe is going to attract to you things specifically so that you can observe them and then see the negative. Or you can just do this cool superpower that we've been given from birth called gratitude, where if you just literally just take a literal few minutes out of your day and genuinely just look at your life and your experience and your soul and just really just start to feel the energy of gratitude, and be grateful for what you already have, not in the vibration of want. Because if you're in the vibration of want, you're also, the polarity of that is the vibration of lack. So if you always are wanting this and wanting that and this and that and this and that, the vibration you're sending to the universe is that you don't have it. So the universe is going to give you more things to want so that you can observe it, that you want it, and not ever get it. Can you vibrate with that? Can you vibrate with that if you always are in the vibration of lack, that you'll never ever get what you want, because the universe is giving you exactly what you are? It gives it to you in such a way that just so that the most powerful thing in your existence is your observation can look at something and want it. How powerful is that? That's insane, right? So if you just flip the script into this thing called gratitude, which is actually an emotion that the humans only feel when they intend to feel that way, you have to actually choose to be grateful, especially in a matrix that's programmed to always compare ourselves to others about what we don't have, how we don't look, how our size of avatar is different than their size of avatar. So like, we're in this matrix that perpetuates this energy of us comparing and thinking that these coins we get in the video game are worth everything, and that we need to do whatever is necessary to get these coins. And if we don't get enough coins, we're not as valuable as a human as a person who has lots and lots and lots of coins. So when you actually, can we just get a gratitude checkpoint, please? When you actually, and gratitude checkpoints is just encouraging everyone right now to just vibrate with everything I just said about gratitude, and just really just harnessing the energy of being grateful for what you have. So guess what? The universe will then attract more things into your life so that your conscious mind can observe it and be grateful again. Right? That's just like how it works. I'm grateful for the capacity to be able to articulate my thoughts and feelings in real time in a way that resonates with other conscious beings. And the reason I say that is because I'm sure that there's lots of people out there that have lots of thoughts and lots of things that they want to say, but find it difficult to put their thoughts and emotions into words. Some people paint or create music because they have a hard time putting it into words. So I'm grateful that I'm able to speak. My vernacular is superb. What is it that you are grateful for? I hope that this little gratitude checkpoint and talking about how you are able to hone in your financial luck is to just be grateful for the things that you currently have. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if you consistently just resonate in the frequency of gratitude in the intention, as well as just over and over and over again, if you just keep intending, like with purpose, to be grateful, it just becomes like this natural thing where you just find yourself always just resonating in the frequency of gratitude at any given moment throughout your life, no matter what it may be. So then naturally your life in itself just becomes higher vibrational because you're grateful for what you have. And then the things that you don't have, it doesn't actually affect you in the I want this, I don't have this, I need this energy as much anymore. Because once you get to the point where you actually genuinely perceive reality, that gratitude is the way to get everything that you want, then the things that you don't have, you just understand that you just keep doing what you're doing, and then you have to make the conscious choice to start taking steps and doing the aligned choices in that path. And it could be in any sort of path. Actually, it could be in school, it could be to become a master mechanic, it could be to learn how to play the guitar, it could be to freaking learn how to code, it could be anything. You just have to actually just continuously just be grateful for what you got and make choices to improve what you already got, and not compare what you already got to what everybody else got. And just know that you are the master of your own universe, and that not one human on the planet at all perceives reality like you do. You are unique, a unique divine soul that chose to incarnate here at this specific time on planet Earth. Can you not see the chaos everywhere? Of course you decided to come here. Of course you volunteered to come here. Maybe you've known this for a long time. Maybe you're just starting to realize this. But every single one of us is so divine, and our conscious observation and attention is so powerful that it literally controls everything that you experience in your life, all the way down to the subatomic level and particles when you want to talk about the double slit experiment in quantum physics. Do you know? Do you know what I mean, bro? Do you know what I mean, bro? You heard, bro? Did I lose you? Who's still here? Who was like, damn, dude, just shut up and go back to the documentary? I don't know.
Whether you're aware of it or not, you do astral magic every day. It's not conscious magic, but to think and to do is a process of the higher manifesting into the lower. Your personality, ego,
I mean, just like the video game Roy on Rick and Morty, P-Wiz, I feel like that's potentially what it is, but on a extremely spiritual and astral lens, that our energy does that. Like our consciousness, like if you've ever experienced DMT and you have fully broken through, one of the inevitable things is that your conscious mind, my ears are ringing loud right now, that your conscious mind literally disconnects from your avatar. It literally goes to a different realm. If you have experienced a recreational DMT trip, you might also have acknowledged that prior to your breakthrough, your body started to heat up and vibrate really fast, which leads me to believe that you're potentially tuning your consciousness to a different frequency where there's an easier ability to shift in those frequencies so that your mind goes to a different realm, and that it's only your consciousness that is perceiving whatever frequency that you might be in. And then DMT is also secreted in your brain right before you die at a mass amount. So of course it's just like a video game where our ever eternal, never ending energy can never be destroyed. It can only, energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transformed consciousness. It definitely is just like a video game. Why do you think there's a drink of codes? Why do you think that, just really take a second to think about that. And then hopefully at the end of all of that, when you are coming to the understanding that potentially that your eternal soul, who has been in existence for all of existence, volunteered to come to Earth at this specific time so you could be here today, because it's all about divine timing. Maybe you just walk through your life with just a little bit more grace with yourself, because now you can perceive all of the mistakes and all of the trauma that you experienced in your past potentially needed to happen so you could even get here. I don't know what I'm talking about probably, but at least that's how it resonates with me. Is that I'm able to perceive some of the most traumatic things that a human can experience, especially as a young infant or a young toddler or just a young child. And I'm able to just know that a lot of my mental health and my behavioral choices moving forward after those severely traumatic experiences were highly influenced by those traumatic experiences. So if my behaviors and choices were highly influenced by those traumatic experiences, it would lead me to believe from an intellectual perspective that most likely that person is going to have mental health issues. And then those mental health issues perpetuate into addiction, and then those addiction and the mental health issues and the behaviors all just create this trifecta of low frequency, because you're completely disconnected from source and your own self-divinity. And then you get to the point where you can acknowledge that you are an eternal being that's been here forever, and that I came here to help wake up humanity as much as I physically possibly can. And then I just look back and look and see dang, I was sexually abused. Dang, I was physically abused. Dang, at 4 or 5 years old, I did watch my mom slit her throat and then called 911. Dang, at 6 or 7 years old, I did find my mom after she swallowed a whole bottle of pills. Dang, at 8 years old, the first time you ever met your father, he did beat your ass for 6 months and physically abuse you severely like a kid should never be hit. Kids should never be hit. A spank once in a while is one thing, but a slap on the wrist is one thing, but you know what I'm saying? So if you just experienced any sort of trauma and you are still here and survived and came out on the other end, I personally right now just want to tell you I love you. And if nobody has told you today, I see you, bro. I understand deep inside a vibration that is similar to yours. And I'm so fucking proud of you for even making it out alive. I'm so fucking proud of you for not giving up. I'm so fucking proud of you for every single day that your mind was absorbed with this, that, and the other that prevented you from continuously showing yourself that you loved yourself, because then once you start loving yourself, you lose connection to source. And then I'm just so fucking proud of you. And some of you might not hear that ever, actually. And I just want you to know that deep into my heart and my soul, I genuinely mean it with everything I say. I've been here, I've been there, I've done that, did that. I experienced the lowest of all lows, the traumas of all traumas. And I'm here to tell you that God loves you. You are loved. You are enough. You are worth love. Sometimes people just need to hear it. Sometimes people just need to feel it. Sometimes people just need to give themselves permission to stop holding on to it. And I hope I can just be a beacon of light for everyone that needs it. Let's get back into the video.
Pursuits and goals are a product of astral magic. But there are many variables to consider in terms of what will work based on your sphere of availability. You can do magic for a car, but is it really in your sphere of availability? Like, are you in a reality where that's even possible? Or if you wanted to be the boss of a big company, could you really hold that position? Eventually you would just get fired or lose the car because A plus B equals C. Have you built up a structure in which your will can manifest in the physical plane? It's not just snapping your fingers and forcing something to happen, which is a common...
The amount of influence that an individual has on the physical plane in regards to manifesting a specific outcome, it must be possible within the constraints of your current physical laws and natural laws. You can't just do magic to fly within this physical realm. There are physical laws that have been agreed upon collectively on the higher realms. One of those being gravity and or linear time. Your sphere of availability is also constrained to natural law, but do you possess the knowledge for the outcome you wish to receive? A plus B equals C. You can't just do magic to start a business. It requires knowledge. However, you can do magic to heighten your senses for understanding, which can lead to the outcome you wanted in the first place.
A misunderstanding of magic. If you know magic, why don't you just make yourself rich? Is a common response from those who know nothing about magic. That's because just like any science,
agnostic. 99% of the time is just someone who believes in nothing. They usually say, I'm perfectly fine with just not knowing. But that's not the truth. There are background connotations that most of them are completely oblivious to. That is the religion and propaganda of materialism and nihilism. There is no meaning, so why does it matter? Okay, sure, I don't know. I'm just a space of dust anyways. They are not fully aware of their inner selves because they prescribe to the religion of materialism subconsciously. The sad part is that they are doing this consciously when it comes to the creation of their personalities, because most of these agnostics are nihilists.
there are rules and regulations. In order to protect yourself
Grand Rising.
on the astral realm, you need to know how to create a tetrapolar magnet. A magnet that is blessed by sacred angels and constructed upon sacred geometry. This knowledge of the Godhead will keep you protected against any demonic or negative beings that you may encounter. We will cover everything more in detail, but for now, let's continue with a brief summary. What will you encounter in the astral realm?
Miss Gunn, what's up? How are you? We got a new chatter. We got a new chatter. Heck yeah, thank you for being here. Miss Gunn, I don't know, but I hope that you stick around. If you know, I mean, I'll bring you in close if you want. If you hit that little follow button, or you already followed me, I see it. Came from Facebook. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Everybody should be welcoming you in at any time. Don't be shy. Say hello. We're all just, all a part of this thing called Team Human, where we are just humans that just love humans and love ourselves enough to not judge any human based off of their spiritual, political, or ideological beliefs. We accept every human in here. We just like to have conversations. The live streams, like Queen Trip had said before, is basically just recording and live streaming me, this weird hippie that grew up in Utah, who has found God in a spiritual path of enlightenment and crawled through from the depths of this thing we perceive and label as hell, which is actually just a low vibrational state of being. And I'm here every day trying to just talk, speak my mind, my thoughts, research the things I'm interested in. Right now, we're currently diving into the astral realm and magic. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Well, as was said at first, it is like you're exploring a representation of your subconscious or a mirror realm of the reality you experience here. But there are weird alterations or nuances that obviously make it more fantastical. But there comes a point where you enter a doorway, or a realm that seems to be a doorway from within yourself that actually leads to a universe.
Whoa, DMT visuals. Shout out Alex Gray. Does anyone know who Alex Gray is?
It's even farther outside of you. Even grander in scale, that has its own intelligences and life forms that seem to have their own existence. One of these beings are called shadow beings that linger on the etheric and lower astral planes. These beings could be suppressed fear that has gained intelligence, most likely from a host. These are negative astral parasites that are created by us from our emotions and suppressed experiences.
Whoa, let's hear that again. Let's hear that one more time.
That linger on, even grander in scale, that has its own intelligences and life forms that seem to have their own existence. One of these beings are called shadow beings that linger on the etheric and lower astral planes. These beings could be suppressed fear that has gained intelligence, most likely from a host. These are negative astral parasites that are created by us from our emotions and suppressed experiences. They continually feed off negative emotions and become more independent and powerful as they grow in age.
And then they just follow us around and they just keep us in that lower astral realm. I just fucking, holy shit. I resonate with that so much, bro. Can you just let me just break this down how I'm visualizing it, okay? There have been probably so many people on planet Earth that get absorbed into the frequency of depression so much that these humans get absorbed inside of it and they lay in bed all day. Maybe that was one of you. Maybe that's the type of depression that you guys have, which is beautiful and it's not wrong, okay? And those are the fucking dementors, you're right. And then what happens is you go into this like rot type state, right? You're not like physically rotting, but energetically you're rotting because your mind is stuck in this loop, right? And the more and more that your conscious energy gives attention to this loop that keeps you stuck to this bed where you have no energy to do anything at all, you're like literally physically creating an intelligent being outside of you in the etheric realm that literally torments you and controls everything about you and whispers in your ear, almost like fucking Wormtail from Lord of the Rings, where he's like whispering all those weird things inside the king's ear. Do you know what I'm saying? I know you. I don't know. Maybe I hope I describe at least my interpretation of that better. I don't know. I hope I described that well so you can maybe grasp at least how I interpreted that. It's almost as if like these negative emotions and energetic states that the human takes on, which potentially is predominantly residing in the lower astral realm with lower vibrations, with lower, we can say that rap music that talks about slapping women or robbing people or taking people out or selling narcotics or robbing people, like stuff like that, right? That's like a low vibration, especially if you continue to listen to like, fuck that bitch, you know what I mean? Yeah, slap that hoe, or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, I shot that dude, whatever. I can't say the word that I was going to say, but it's low vibration, right? You could say that reggae is high vibration. You know what I mean? Because it just talks about peace and love and unity. So like just in the sounds, the actual music itself might even be tuned specifically to a higher or a lower frequency to affect us differently. There is a conspiracy that potentially the music industry at a specific date decided after the U.S. government did tons of research on frequencies and consciousness and mind control, and then all of a sudden these fucking these music labels decided that they were going to just start tuning all of their music to a certain low frequency. Weird. Anyways, it's almost as if like your every energy that you have inside of your body, whatever emotional state you currently are in or have been in, those energies, depending on how long they stick around, create intelligence that dictates and influences your consciousness and your mind and the reality around you. So if you're always in the lower ones, potentially there's these little voices that are always telling you that you're not good enough or you're not smart or you'll never be successful, to try and perpetuate his presence. And the more and more you push those away, the less and less influential that negative vibration gets. But the more you are in these higher realms, it seems as if like the higher vibrations, that's when you start to get to like the higher entities that have an ability to whisper like, you are good enough, or to tell you like, do it, bro. I know you're scared, but you can do this, you know, stuff like that. Does that make sense? Third eye's in the chat if you have two eyes to look and one eye to see.
The trouble you encounter and the dire things that old maid occultists warn you against all the times in the past when you read about astral projection is really nothing but this difference that exists between the different planes and what happens when you try to act on the inner planes the same way that you act on the earth physical. Let's just say some new age thought practitioner got to the astral plane and it skipped.
Cynthia, just to tell you, the third eye is an emote. sorry. Is an emote that you get because you're a subscriber. The little smiley face icon in the place where you type, if you click that, there's a section that says Trip Over Drip, and there's a whole bunch of emotes that are accessible to you that me and Queen Trip purchased. If everyone could just blast the chat right now on Twitch with all of the subscriber emotes. Just hit a whole bunch so Cynthia or Dad's favorite critter can see all of them. You can emote all sorts of different stuff. We purchased a few different kinds. So I just wanted to let you know in case you didn't know, because you just put the word I. So
the wits out of her. So instead of trying to find out what was wrong, she labeled it as hell and warned everyone to stay away. In the inner planes, you have to act in accordance with the laws that govern that plane, which laws are different than the laws that govern the physical plane. And until you learn these laws and move by them, you're going to find yourself in a very peculiar position when you try to do something.
wait a
Things
second.
manifest, you're going to govern the...
Let's go back just a little bit.
She labeled it as hell and warned it's different planes, and what happens when you try to act on the inner planes, the same...
It can be difficult to move on the astral plane because we are used to moving on the physical plane. You must will your movement on the astral plane through thoughts and statements. Interesting.
way that you act on the earth physical. Let's just say some new age thought practitioner got to the astral plane and it scared the wits out of her. So instead of trying to find out what was wrong, she labeled it as hell and warned everyone to stay away. On the astral planes, you have to act in accordance with the law.
No more coffee, I'm out, damn. The astral is more fluid than the physical plane. You cannot think the way you do on the physical and the astral. If you suffer from depression, doubt, or subconscious nihilism, this will have immediate results on the astral. You can think forms into existence. Emotions and deep-rooted belief systems create even stronger astral forms that have more power and last for longer periods of time. Isn't that just insane? We've seen this picture so much on this channel. YouTube, if you're here for the first time, we've been on Twitch for a few months now. Jeez, I just can't get rid of this fucking coughed it off. Peace out, Edward. Thank you for being on YouTube, bro. I love you. Thank you for being here, bro. It means a lot. You might be the only one in the chat, but you will definitely be remembered, bro. You will definitely Be remembered. Oh my gosh, dude. Fuck, I can't cough quick. Coughing. But this picture speaks volumes. Speaks volumes to me, bro. Because is that, you could interpret that as the firmament. You could also interpret that as like duality. You can interpret that as like the astral realm. You could take all of that energy and just like interpret it all together. You know what I mean? And then come to the understanding that, fuck, man, I really don't know shit about shit. So that's why we're here. Because it seems it just seems to me that it doesn't actually matter how much I like try to learn and learn and learn and learn. And I just keep finding myself and like, fuck, man, I just don't know shit about shit. Like, what in the fuck is this thing we call human life, bro? What the fuck is this shit, bro? If you can affirm with what and resonate with that, like, what? I don't know shit about shit, bro. Can you just let me know? Because really, I don't know shit about shit. So just moving forward, like, I don't know shit about shit, bro. I just regurgitate the shit that I do think that is applicable to the making connections to what well of knowledge I have. But even in this, as you guys are sitting here watching me talk, like, I'm just like, fuck, man, more and more it goes on, bro. Like, I just don't know shit about shit. And that's all right. I do know a lot. I do know a little bit about a lot of the shit, though. I do know a little shit about a lot of shit. And there's a couple things I know a lot about. But in the grand scheme of all of it, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Laws that govern that plane, which laws are different than the laws that govern the physical plane. And until you learn these laws and move by them, you're going to find yourself in a very peculiar position when you try to do something. Things manifest instantly in the astral, especially emotion. You can't treat the astral plane as you do the physical world. That's why many run into issues when they first begin to practice. But
that seems like a perfect time for me to go refill my gas tank. Go refill it up, you know what I mean? So we're going to come back right over here. I'll be right back.
This lady, she is one of the greatest criminals here in all of this, enabled all of this abuse. And you're going to set her free? I mean, it is crazy that she's the only one who's in prison, but at least one person is in prison serving jail time for these, horrific crimes that were committed. So in any case, this is the latest line that they're trying to sell of like, oh, it's actually going to be good for the victims if we let Ghislaine Maxwell off the hook here. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I do know that the House committee, continues some of this work specifically. And by the way, there's been some other Epstein reports, which we again haven't had as much time to. Look, nothing here is too crazy, but they just show, for example, there is still, quote, accountability and other people who have been disgraced by the Epstein affair. It's just that none of them who are being removed or resigning are in our government. Let's go to the next one, please, and put this up here on the screen. This was just from 2 days ago. Bard's College's president is going to retire after scrutiny of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Leon Bach.
See, isn't that just like another fucking layer of propaganda, bro? Like, we don't actually give a fuck if you quit your job, bro. We want you fucking publicly neutralized, potentially. Because, I mean, isn't that what should happen to people who hurt children? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't give a fuck if you resign from your position. We don't give a fuck if you quit your job or if you can't use this certain bank now or whatever it may be. It's insane. It's insane that still there has not even been one arrest. I mean, Les Wexner is like on his way out, bro. Who cares if he's a billionaire? Just arrest his ass, bro. Do you know how many people would fucking instantaneously... Like, they're so stupid, bro. Do you know how quick people would just, like, give up and try to attempt to stop talking about Epstein if they just, like, arrested two of the old-ass billionaires that eat kids? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, like... Everyone just, like, decides that, we're like, okay, we got to do something. We got to get rid of this Pizzagate conspiracy. We gotta put the nail in the coffin and just get people to stop talking about it. So You know, people who are in a position of power, they just make the decision and they're like, yeah, we're just going to take these guys out. Boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, Hillary Clinton gets arrested. And then the only thing that ever is talked about Pizzagate is quickly stopped as soon as the people who are implicated in Pizzagate just go to jail. You know what I mean? It'd be so easy for them to shut a lot of these stories down if they just put people in jail and it didn't matter like how much money you had. Who cares if you're a fucking billionaire? There's a bunch of them and you're like fucking 86 years old. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they do regime changes in different countries. Just do a little regime change in their little fucking realm of reality. Oh yeah, let's just do a regime change for Leslie Wexner's estate. And they just ding dong boom bang ding bong boom, and he just goes to jail. And then now they can just try and then they could just like kind of shut down the conversation when people try to bring it up. But these sickos are so disgusting that they have to fucking be loyal to each other. It's like impossible. It's so disgusting and so much more crazier than any of us could have ever imagined, bro. It's so much more demonic and evil. Harvesting the children. Oh, man.
There are also positive guides. There are intelligences that have been following you your whole life. These are called demons or genie.
Ooh, wait a second. Didn't we talk about this? Didn't we talk about this, bro? We were talking about the negative energies that follow you around. This is where are we getting to the origins of genie, bro? If you ever even, I mean, I was born in the late 1900s, player, so I watched Aladdin, bro. The original Aladdin was like one of my favorite cartoon movies, bro. I also at the same time was highly obsessed with Wizard of Oz. Any of you guys want to just, you know, be vulnerable and just share your favorite kid's costume when you were a kid? I remember, bro, I was a fucking Power Ranger for like 4 years straight for Halloween, bro. I was Aladdin, bro, and the genie. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of cool to think about. It's kind of cool that potentially these jinns or these genies were portrayed as like evil or just like kind of in the dark side of magic, right? But it's kind of cool that Mind Unveiled is about to make connection to the word genie, or, you know, to to the good spirits.
Into practice. But there are also positive guides. There are intelligences that have been following you your whole life. These are called demons or genie. They're not all negative, as they are aspects to how we think. We perceive ourselves as a single unit of consciousness, but most of our thoughts and inspirations are not even our own, but a product of these astral intelligences or guardian angels that have helped and guided us along our path here in the physical realm. There are elementals, which are the astral manifestations of the elements themselves in a variety of different...
Weird. Is that where Mother Earth comes from? Everybody knows and has resonated and entertained the concept of Mother Earth. Let's let him run that back.
Or guardian angels that have helped and guided us along our path here in the physical realm. There are elementals, which are the astral manifestations of the elements themselves in a variety of different forms. Their main forms include the salamander, fire, and the air element, they are sylphs.
They did all have homunculus on top of their head. Crazy, huh?
And the water element, they are called mermaids or undines. And the element of earth, they are gnomes or goblins. These being the connection with the astral plane and the earth.
Definitely perceive that different, huh? The homunculus on top of each of their heads. They're just all chilling like this. You know what I'm saying? Now I have like a prop to talk about homunculus with. How cool is that? You know what I mean?
The elements. The astral plane is host to the deceased ones who, having left the physical plane, are abiding in the corresponding density degree according to their spiritual maturity, which is designated by various religions as heaven or hell.
What's up, YouTube? If you're on YouTube, say what's up in the chat. I don't got very many people coming up over on the YouTube, so when I see that I got someone up in here, I'm going to say hello, at least until there's way too many to say hello to every one of you. So if you're in here, say what's up. Don't be shy.
Depths only see symbols therein. There are god forms, demons, and powerful archetypal forms. Not recommended for the beginner at all. This might sound crazy, but these experiences are quite real, and honestly the best way to describe it is like a psychedelic experience where a booming voice is kind of overpowering the
Doesn't that just feel weird, bro? That picture with Jesus and the mushrooms. Does it, I mean, am I the only one? Come on, please. Please, motherfuckers, tell me. Am I not the only one? I'm not the only one. I can't be. I can't be the only one that just feels weird when there's artwork with Jesus and mushrooms.
The best way to describe it is like a psychedelic experience where a booming voice is kind of overpowering the entire realm itself. If you reach this point, you are very far from home and starting to reach some very far doorways. You don't want to open a door that you can't close, so just keep it simple for now and avoid the subject matter. You aren't likely to just randomly encounter a god or a demon.
There's another homunculus container.
Unless you specifically go looking for it. Ancient spirits are an entirely other topic. I wouldn't worry too much about what you will encounter. You just need to ask yourself, does this interest you? If so, there is a reason and you must follow it with genuine curiosity. The clairvoyant eyes must be guarded with great responsibility. We know the Spider-Man quote with...
What about this one, huh? What about this one? What about the rose, all the flowers with the Rosicrucian symbolism and the phoenix and the homunculus container that's hermetically sealed? What the fuck?
Great power comes...
We can rewind for just a second, right here.
But these experiences are quite real, and honestly the best way to describe it is like the adepts only see symbols therein. There are god forms, demons, and powerful archetypal forms. Not recommended for the beginner at all. This might sound crazy, but these experiences are quite real, and honestly the best way to describe it is like a psychedelic experience where a booming voice is kind of overpowering the entire realm itself. If you reach this point, you are very far from home and starting to reach some very far doorways. You don't want to open a door that you can't close, so just keep it simple for now and avoid the subject matter. You aren't likely to just randomly encounter a god or a demon unless you specifically go looking for it. Ancient spirits are an entirely other topic. I wouldn't worry too much about what you will encounter. You just need to ask yourself, if so, there is a reason and you must follow it with genuine curiosity. The clairvoyant eyes must be guarded with great responsibility. We know the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility.
Who heard that quote? I believe that quote. I believe that quote. Yes, it is. P-Wiz. Mind Unveiled. If you type in Mind Unveiled, or if you actually honestly just type in homunculus on YouTube, bro, I promise you, Mind Unveiled will be the first video that pops up. It is a 10-hour video, though. Like, us watching the homunculus video literally took us 3 weeks, bro. 3 weeks of streaming, dude.
Some may say, well, why do I need to go explore the astral plane? I have everything I need with Jesus. Well, that may be so, but it's more than just exploring willy-nilly and flying around. That's great and all, but like I said, I wouldn't fly too far away if I were you. I honestly don't go far at all. You want to stay low-key and build up your abilities, much like an open-world RPG.
Wait a second, didn't we? Didn't we say that it was kind of like a video game? Let me let him play that back one time.
No, but like I said, I wouldn't fly too far away if I were you. I honestly don't go far at all. You want to stay low-key and build up your abilities, much like an open-world RPG. Exploring long range before you know what you're doing can get you lost. Gaining skills is an art that can benefit your life, like painting. One with clairvoyant eyes or one who has mastered their astral senses have gained proficiency in a talent that takes much skill and creativity. They say Nikola Tesla had photographic memory or whatever, but it's more likely that he knew how to astral project. Not using the techniques that magicians use, such as the body of light, but simply through his natural ability to simply visualize material objects. It's a very useful skill. Imagine being able to spend hours in the dream realm, in the conscious state, researching and developing skills and talents that you don't have time to do in the physical realm. You could consciously project yourself to a library and read. You could develop blueprints and make plans for a house or building. Or as the ancient magicians figured out,
That's what the Akashic records are, to be able to easy make a connection. Is imagine yourself astral projecting into a library that has data about everything that ever existed for all of time, everywhere at once.
you can directly manipulate physical events through different rituals on the astral realm. A tool can be used for what one wishes to do with it, and in this case, it can cause changes in consciousness and for the pursuit of higher principles. Developing one's body of light so that when the material body passes, there is a vehicle in which the soul can continue to exist. Otherwise, it is replenished and will be reset, making it difficult to build up soul karma. These skills that you develop now in the astral will transfer to your next life. That is why some people have a natural talent for the occult. It's because in a past life, they dedicated themselves to the art of the magus. Not just in a physical sense, but in that they have developed concrete astral forms that then influence the next life, going back to what I was talking about with demons and genies. These are other forms.
I agree, P-Wiz. That's one reason why I've just hyper fixated on, at least until I've watched every one of them. Because as far as I can tell about being on his channel, he has videos about a lot of things I like to learn about and would love to hear information about. And the way that this specific content creator makes his videos is just so easily, it's just so amazing how digestible it all is, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys resonate with it. Maybe some of you guys can, affirm in the chat that it does. You're right, bro. Welcome to the Team Tism. Just kidding. It does tickle the tism and make my brain buzz when I'm chilling here and just listening to him talk and looking at artwork and all that. It's kind of insane. It's kind of like a new way that I have started learning, because for the most part he's just showing pictures and stuff and words, and his voice is so soothing, and the the little background music is sometimes banging, sometimes on point, sometimes it's soothing, and he puts them perfectly with the intensity of the information along with the way he talks. I don't know. I just fuck with Mind Unveiled. Shout out Mind Unveiled. Thank you for, friend of the show. Thank you for being here.
Of yourself that you've experienced in other realms or planes in which you grew the foundations of consciousness. Have you ever had a dream that made no sense or had no parallels to the physical realm at all? Some feel as if they're aliens to this realm, and what I would say is that you could be from a dimension that is much different than this physical plane.
Weird. Have any of you guys felt alien in this physical realm? It could be because you're a being from a different realm.
The same concepts realm at all. Some feel as if they're aliens to this realm, and what I would say is that you could be from a dimension that is much different than this physical plane. The same concepts of aliens still exist in this cosmology. They are just not seen as beings from other terrestrial planets. And as with magic, these beings can be both good and evil. The coin is not one-sided. Now, in order to continue for your visit to the astral plane, mental discipline is of the utmost importance. No one is perfect in real life, but the idea is that you need to be able to shift from your normal human day-to-day mind into the mind of a magus. This is done throughout exercises that should be practiced as an art or an instrument. Other exercises depend on repetition and subconscious programming, which is indeed magic. One should not do magic in order to go to the astral plane. If you do not possess the ability to focus on one thought for an extended length of time, then once you meet more powerful intelligences on the astral, they will have power over you.
What? I don't know if you guys felt that gut punch into my spirit, like a wake up and acknowledge this, but let me replay that for just one more time.
And subconscious programming, which is indeed magic. One should not do magic in order to go to the astral plane. If you do not possess the ability to focus on one thought for an extended length of time, then once you meet more powerful intelligences on the astral, they will have power over you.
If you don't have the ability to focus on one thought for an extended period of time, then if you go into these astral realms and you meet a higher intelligence, they will be able to control you. What? So if you don't have the ability to concentrate on one thought for an extended period of time and you go into the lower astral realm where you're stuck in like sadness and depression and self-loathing and grief and et cetera, these intelligent energies start to form. And then they get to the point where, because you can't concentrate on one thought for an extended period of time, they completely just control you.
Now, before we can even begin to constraining the mind to a single thought, we are faced with the most severe challenge of ignoring the physical body. Keeping a single thought form for more than 10 seconds is almost impossible for the average man with no knowledge of the occult. One simple exercise is to focus on a blue square. There's nothing evil, just test your mental faculties and see how long you can hold a visual in your mind's eye. So, different thoughts from different
Keep this in your mind's eye until you forget what you're doing. At first, it should be very difficult, but just keep stating blue square. I mean, he might be teaching us a whole bunch of esoteric and occult knowledge, but he's also teaching us how to do this too. Let's rewind that, because I got to digest that a second time.
For the average man with no knowledge of the occult. One simple exercise is to focus on a blue square. There's nothing evil, just test your mental faculties and see how long you can hold a visual in your mind's eye. After 10 seconds or so, different thoughts from different subjects will start to come into mind. Earlier events, randomness, or the shape will refuse to stay still, or the colors will change. It is quite endless, but the goal is simple, and you cannot be persuaded otherwise. Hold the blue shape in mind for as long as possible. A timer will be needed. Start with 10 seconds and slowly rise until you get to 1 minute, and then 10 minutes, and then the final goal is 30 minutes. Now at 30 minutes, an event should occur, and it will be quite noticeable, but you will forget who you are for a moment.
What? What? You can achieve 30 minutes of visualizing this blue square, you will forget who you are for a minute.
You will literally become the symbol you were focusing on. This is the goal experience and will get you ready for the astral realm. In order to even get close to that goal, one must first learn to silence the body before the mind. If you can't find comfort in your meditation, you will never achieve this level of focus as it distracts the mind.
That's some powerful message. If you can't get comfortable in your body, you will never be able to fucking quiet the mind.
India developed many methods to solve this problem. One must pick an asana or a position of rest and hold this position throughout the entire experience. Pick an asana that you will stick to and master before trying other positions. Don't go too difficult like trying the lotus position until you are ready. There are mental exercises that can be done in order to silence different parts of the body. This also can be healing as you are directly manipulating your etheric body with your astral senses. Imagine a golden ball of light as it begins to travel around your body. Just vocally state in your mind that body part that you want to fall asleep or where you want the golden ball to travel to. Now it may seem like, okay, I'm just manipulating my imagination or something, but once you've done this enough and you treat it like an art form, meaning it's a skill, it begins to become something else entirely. The skill of one who paints fences compared to a painter who paints beautiful murals are quite different, no? Well, it's the same with visualization. Some possess a greater degree of realism when they visualize, changing the experience entirely. There will come a time where these visuals can cause real-world effects, like in this golden ball exercise. You will begin to feel intense tingling sensations wherever the golden ball is floating. If you do the same with your chakras, you will begin to feel intense vibrational sensations that are distinct and cause a real effect to the consciousness. Chakra meditation will lead to more frequent lucid dreams and OBEs, but again, these things must be taken one step at a time. Through mantra, one can assist the process of silencing the mind. You can use some famous mantra like Om, or you can literally just make one. Create some type of symbol or word that you want to focus on and turn it into a mantra. Scramble it and create a simplified version. So maybe you want to focus on silencing the mind. Then simplify it as silence, and you can meditate on repeating the word silence. This will kind of create a firewall where now the thoughts have a hard time distracting you because you're already in focus on a single point.
Where your attention goes, energy flows.
Mantra. Some may say, well, how does this apply to me? Well,
you see the fasciste right there? That freaking, the little multi-stick bundle thing. Weird.
Well, the occult arts aren't for everyone, but many are interested, and in the modern age, it seems that the subject matter is being lost in a new cosmology. The so-called truth community is worried about such fearful matters such as cataclysm, controllers, and parasites, when really we are what contain the power. They control us through these astral methods that I've been discussing, yet many are being controlled simply by giving them that fear. Many want to escape the matrix, and that's great, but how's one going to do that with no money and no power? We all possess the ability to create the life we envision, and it has nothing to do with just asking for material desires through magic. This art form develops the mind in a way that you become in line with the universe, and you could say, become an attractor, or your luck factor goes up. The universe is giving you a helping hand in creating the reality you wish to experience. We all should know by now the powers of creative visualization and attracting material experiences into our lives. This is the New Age revival known as The Secret, which actually really is just a secret distorted as much as it possibly could be. The secret is that mind and reality are integrated. That's why it applies to you. I'm showing you a way to go about this process consciously and with respect, instead of letting external forces rule you. Okay, you're a Christian? Well, the whole Bible is based on the esoteric doctrine. It comes from the tarot. Even the Gnostics were great mystics developed in these basic faculties of mind. There's nothing wrong with strengthening your mind, intellect, and creating a reality that you wish to experience here on the physical realm. Instead of praying to a god for something you need in life, which is magic, why not develop the skills and opportunities that you need yourself using your conscious magic? You're either suffering at the magic of others or the fact that you're ignorant of your own magic. It's a tool, and unfortunately many abuse it. But it is a fundamental art and ancient in its origin, and we must continue to revive its essence to the best of our ability. Now we will assume that you have mastered thought discipline, trained with each element individually, and have achieved deep states of meditation. We will begin with the protection ritual, as it is a great insight into what this experience entails, and how you can protect yourself from the magic of others. Begin with understanding the shape of the pentagram. It is not an evil shape. It is a sacred shape, for it is the quintessence. It is all the elements represented as a whole, and the symbol has been distorted and misused in the modern day. It does not mean Satanism. When the pentagram is facing down, it means all the gross elements are somewhat above a kasa or spirit. But when facing up, in its correct form, it represents the true distribution.
Damn, that's insane. Holy shit. That's insane, bro. Can we just make this connection right now? Okay. So when it's like this, right? The spirit is at the top. The earth, the air, the water, and the fire is on the bottom. In a multi-plane lens or multi-dimensional lens, the spirit is above. God, source, your soul, all of that stuff is at the highest pinnacle above this physical realm, so that you should be not trying to be a materialist. You're not trying to worry about the material realm or this physical plane. Your spirit should be more important in what you connect more with, because it is symbolically higher in stature above this realm below it, right? Well, if you take the pentagram and flip it upside down to where spirit would now be on the bottom pointing down, that would lead me to believe that why Satanists use the pentagram is because it is symbolism showing that the material realm is higher in stature than the soul or the spirit. Y'all resonate with that? Did I catch everybody with that one? That one just came out of nowhere. I just made that connection in fucking real time. Weird. That makes me fucking feel, I got chills and shit. Is that the pentagram is this symbol flipped upside down to where the material world, the air, fire, water, and earth is in a higher position than what the spirit is, symbolizing that it means more than the spirit. That's potentially why that leads them to make material choices, to make earthly choices, human instinctful choices of negative vibration, is because their belief system is that this material realm means more than what your soul means, because they potentially don't believe. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Nicole? What's up, dude? Thank you. Yeah, I'm on YouTube too. I just actually started doing YouTube yesterday. But I don't know. I just had to make a little tangent right there because that just hit me like a pile of bricks. Boom, you know?
Which is a kasa on top and the ghostly elements below. Before we learn about the ritual, you must understand what I mean by drawing the pentagram. In the ritual, depending on how you draw the pentagram determines what you are trying to achieve.
Whoa, this is getting crazy.
Are you attempting to invoke a spirit or bring it down to you? Or do you want to banish a spirit? What you will do is with your physical body, you will perform this basic ritual. Start from your left hip, go above your head, continue to the right hip, move to outside your left shoulder, draw a cross beyond your right shoulder, finish where you began. When you do these motions, use a magical dagger specifically designed for this purpose. You must be able to see a bright blue flame that has electrical energy with extreme visual detail. And you must be able to hold this vision entirely with no breaks or distortions.
This is holy shit. I make stars like that my whole life. That's how I've drawn stars. This exact star, anytime I've drawn a star, it's that exact shape. And then the reason he talked about needing and feeling like you need to hold the blue square and be able to do that for 30 minutes is because once you can do that for 30 minutes, you will have the ability very easily to be able to visualize this star structure inside the astral realm, right?
This is why the basic exercises of thought control were explained at the beginning of the video. Okay, so let's take a break here. I originally recorded this entire series as a single video, but during the editing process, I decided that it may be smarter to just release this in different parts.
It's over. Do you want to, it's 2 hours. I got at least another 30 or so in it. You guys want to watch the next one? Let's watch the next one. We got to finish the series, bro. We got to finish the series. Astral plane, the next one. There's 3 of them, dude. These ones are only 30 minutes. Oh, there's another one, 14. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, this fool's got so much. Let's see. Astral part 2. Boom.
Wow. We return with learning how to perform a protection ritual that will keep you protected in the astral realm. If you didn't watch part 1 yet, make sure to check it out as it will explain the theory behind the astral plane. There are many magical systems and whatever works for you is fine, but the most commonly known ritual is called the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, and it is well known in occult circles.
Wait a second. Bro, we gotta go back. We gotta finish that one, bro. He didn't fully talk about that. We only watched, there was like 50 seconds left of the video. And I just kind of quit out.
In part 2, we'll go over the most popular protection ritual that can be used for protection on the astral realm. Thank you all so much for the support, and we depend on word of mouth.
Oh yeah, see, word of mouth's happening. Don't worry about that, player. I'm helping you out with that word of mouth. Just trying to promote you as much as I can, player. Let's go.
We return with learning how to perform a protection ritual that will keep you protected in the astral realm. If you didn't watch part 1 yet, make sure to check it out as it will explain the theory behind the astral plane. There are many magical systems and whatever works for you is fine, but the most commonly known ritual is called the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, and it is well known in occult circles. In order to simplify this ritual and make it more digestible for the masses, I have made slight alterations. Reason being is because the language is Hebrew and one must know Kabbalah in order to have all the right association.
See, what in the fuck? There it is again. The Kabbalah. What in the hell? What in the hell, Bobby?
This is the ritual given to neophytes for beginning to train with astral senses. Make sure you have a space to perform it. You don't want to work in a cluttered room. If your bedroom is all you have, then just try to clean things up or maybe put down a square blanket for creating a separate space. Here you can set up your altar and small walking space.
Bobby, how did you fail English? You speak English.
Try to have a clear idea where east is so you can begin the ritual in the correct direction. First, begin with a ritual bath or ritual cleansing. This can be symbolic or literally by just taking a shower. Rinse yourself off, get the dirt off, and get prepared as you would for any significant event. Visualize all the negativity and doubts wash away as you soak in the water. Now
Why? Because water has memory, doesn't it?
get dressed in attire that is quite different than what you normally wear. It's obviously kind of weird in the modern day to be waving a wand and a robe, but we can adjust these ancient motifs as we progress with a new magic for the new age. The ancients and the occult orders wore robes, but of course that is up to yourself for what you feel is appropriate. Everything in the ritual
Anyone else here wear robes or cloaks?
has some sort of significance. From the clothes to the actual magical instruments themselves have divine and archetypal symbology integrated within the art and design of each object. A dagger is not the air dagger, but one must use a ritual dagger specifically for this ritual. For your final preparation, take a few deep breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Prepare your mind for the experience of holy energies. Sit in a chair that is facing east. Do the relaxation ritual from earlier with the golden sphere. Now take your dagger and know that you are about to be in the presence of God. Stand up and begin to visualize yourself growing larger and larger. Imagine yourself becoming so large until you grow out of your room, and then the visual continues where you can now see the city below you, the clouds, space, and now heavens. Now that may differ depending on your cosmology, but just imagine yourself growing so large that you basically become one with light itself. Now that you have reached this great light, imagine this white light above your head, a limitless brilliant white sphere of light floating above you. Take your dagger while you are still standing and point to the spiritual sphere. Now bring it down by touching your forehead just above and between the eyes with the dagger and vibrating, "Thou art." Bring the dagger firmly down to your body until you are pointing towards the ground. As you do this, visualize a bright beam of light coming down from your head that moves down through your body and out, continuing beneath the earth. As you do this, vibrate the kingdom. Now bring the blade up to your right shoulder. As you do this, visualize the powerful white light that runs down the center of your body. Begin to project a beam from the heart area out to your right, past the blade out to your right shoulder. See this beam extend to the end of the universe and beyond. Focus on this beam and vibrate the power. Move the point of the blade horizontally to your left shoulder. As you do, visualize the beam of white light now extending through infinite space to your left. As you focus on the light, vibrate, and the glory. Clasp your hands at your chest. At the point covered by your folded hands, visualize a brilliant golden glow. Vibrate the words, Amen. In Hebrew, you would vibrate Ata, which means you, or more poetically, thine in Hebrew. The visualization of properly pointing the dagger or finger is for the purpose that you are indicating that you are linking your higher self with the divine. The kingdom of Malkut in Kabbalah represents the physical material plane. That is why you should be pointing down. The power and glory are called Vegebura and Vegedula. Amen actually has a secret meaning. The Lord's Prayer does not occur in the first instance of the prayer in the Bible. It does appear in later instances. Is this proof that the early Christians knew the secrets of Kabbalah? Now for many, ancient Hebrew may be extremely foreign, but there are many systems. This is just the most developed Western system that we have today. And I agree there should be some updates, but for the most part, this next section, you will need to be able to draw these pentagrams as vivid as you can for each direction. As you draw the pentagrams, remember, we're going to be banishing, so we need to do it with a specific direction. The Hebrew method vibrates specific holy names of God as you draw these pentagrams, such as Adonai, Eheye, or Yod-He-Vav-He. You can use your own names, or just imagine that as you are creating this flame, that you are using the energy from this divine source. Begin with the east, and draw out the blue flame pentagram and establish this
Oh, what's up, Nikki from the Sticks?
connection between the divine and your higher mind. This is the air element. Turn to the right 90 degrees and continue the process of banishing through the pentagram. Now at the south, begin with the next pentagram, the fire element. Draw the pentagram for the west, the water element. And lastly, you will finish with the north, the earth element. You should vividly see each pentagram flaming from each direction without any distortion. Now we must evoke the archangels, for they are what truly cleanses an area rid of parasites. These archangels are manifestations for the elements themselves. Now face east where you started and begin to channel the angel of air, Raphael.
Whoa, Raphael.
Visualize before you a figure on a hill in front of you. The figure is dressed in yellow robes, which have some purplish highlights. The figure carries a caduceus wand, Mercury, or Hermes. The more associations, the more powerful the experience and magic will be. You should feel a breeze coming from behind the figure. Say, visualize a figure behind you, dressed in blue with some orange highlights. The figure holds a cup and is surrounded by waterfalls. Try to feel the moisture in the air. Visualize a figure dressed in scarlet with green highlights. The figure holds a flaming sword, and you should feel the heat coming from this direction. To your left, visualize a figure dressed in greens and browns on a fertile landscape. The figure holds some beautiful flowers. Now visualize a pentagram forming all around you and say, "For about me flames the pentagram." Visualize a golden hexagram, a six-pointed star behind you, and say, "And behind me shines the six-rayed star." What you have done is cleanse the area by bringing down the tetragrammaton. This is your tool against all evil. It's the goal of the magician, the mastery of the grossly elements. The four corners of the higher principles themselves are within you, and you just brought them down to a level where you can actually experience them. For the beginner, this is all taking place in the mind or the imagination, but what you're actually doing is pulling these extremely high aspects of your own consciousness down into your lower mind.
Dude, this is deep.
This must be done before all magical rituals, and that includes astral projection. Those who do not possess the proper tools before entering the astral plane are increasing their chances for being controlled by something that does understand the nature of this realm. If you are there by mere repetitive exercises, I would urge you to master this art first of discipline and projection first. This is not even the astral projection part. For most of you, you have been using astral senses, but your consciousness is still in your physical body. That's why you must trust that these exercises are actually making a difference for now, until you develop the skills to experience that truth directly. Remember, people separated from society and dedicated years to practicing these occult arts. Some people are naturals and have an easier time with visualization. Whatever the case, have a clear goal of what you are trying to achieve. If you just want to learn this so you can get what you want and manifest some money or something, you'll either fail or make things worse. In time, you will see the benefits of this art, and you must practice these techniques with great responsibility, as a great power is contained herein. If this is still scary to you for some reason, Jesus clearly references astral projection and navigating different planes of consciousness in the Gnostic Gospels. The Gnostics laid out this realm using these abilities. They weren't black magicians or evil sorcerers. No, they simply were trying to understand the realm they lived in. Now before we go over the ritual for astral projection, I want to make it clear that by no means is this an introduction into magic or the occult. The training for the magus is quite extensive, too much to cover in a single video. Plus, I have to constantly assess what is the best way to present this material. It must be compressed, so I just want to make that clear. That's it for this video.
Damn!
Part 3 will be the practice part of this series, and we will begin looking at exercises to induce astral projection. Thank you all so much for the support.
Who's ready to watch the next one? Who's ready to watch the next one? Please let me know in the chat. All right. I'm going to use the potty. Use the potty, and I'll be right back. Nikki from the sticks, let's go. Hell yeah.
Epstein, who was president of Bard College for half a century, will retire at the end of June. He didn't mention Epstein, except saying he had waited to his announced retirement publicly until the completion of an independent review of his relationship. Now, to be clear, he was not accused of wrongdoing or anything with Epstein, but he was among, quote, a long list of prominent and notable men who maintained friendly relationship with him for years, despite his status as a convicted sex offender. The actual Epstein files show that they had met on multiple occasions, sometimes Epstein arriving at Bard by helicopter, and the president had also suggested Epstein be a guest at the 2013 graduation ceremonies that they meet for an opera performance. In addition, he reached out to him weeks after the Miami Herald reporting, saying, quote, I want you to know, I hope you're holding up as well as can be expected, and separately referred to his friendship in at least 2 emails. Epstein steered $150,000 to him in 2016, which the president previously said he donated to the college, and had also previously denied having any personal relationship with the man. So if Bard College apparently has more independence and of a review than anybody in the United States government.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And then finally, big shout out to our friend Pablo Torre, who did a new Epstein revelation on his podcast. We just want to play a little bit of a clip to give him a shout out. Let's take a listen. This one involves Harvard University.
What we started with was this 2003 quote about Epstein from Professor Martin Novak, as read by PTFO correspondent Dhruv Patel, the managing editor of my old college newspaper, the Harvard Crimson.
He is one of the most pleasant philanthropists to deal with, Novak says. Unlike many people who support science, he supports science without any conditions. There are not any disadvantages associated with him.
And then we unearthed proof of the Jeffrey E. Epstein Fund for Women's Athletics, which was specially earmarked for the women's rugby team, and it had a Harvard shield and the word Veritas across the top of this confidential document. Although, according to multiple former rugby players we talked to, Epstein was never informed that the money came from Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, they were told to keep the fund quiet. What we then showed was how Harvard...
Fuck you. Fuck you, demons. They're all demons. If they can gain the capacity to harm children, they're all fucking demons. They're all demons, even if they're complicit and know that it's happening and still haven't said anything. That's what's so shocking, to be honest. I'm just so shocked. I mean, kind of not shocked, but I am shocked that there's not been one fucking person from Hollywood. There's not been like one politician that even like said, you know what, this is so horrible. I have to say something. It's so disgusting. And the only way that it can do it is that pedophiles have to keep their fucking groups tight. You know what I mean? The loyalty runs thick. Their pockets are endless because allegedly or potentially they just print the money. Or allegedly Epstein created Bitcoin.
Chances of
Cheers, mate. Top of the morning to ya.
In order to increase your chances of success with a final ritual, there is a great exercise that can be done in order to strengthen these astral senses, and sometimes, by accident, we will actually project unconsciously. I wouldn't recommend exploring Bard at all if this happens.
You're right. Or there are celebrities that have tried to come forward and say things like Jim Carrey, and now we all can agree that we think he was cloned, right?
Just go back to your body. First, we need a pathway that we can walk down. It could be any pathway, like a route from your bed to the front door, or a pathway that you can walk down without looking like a weirdo in front of your roommate. Figure it out, but basically, you need to pick a route with multiple checkpoints or different noticeable objects. Pick 5 different objects or more that for some reason just stick out to you or would be easy to remember. Now the objective is to start walking that path and with a keen eye, remember every single detail about this experience. For now, you're just using the sense of sight, but try to recall as much as you can.
Okay, so we're going to rewind again so everybody can follow along. He's going to explain to you, I'm pretty positive, step by step on how to astral project. Who's here for this right now, bro? So I'm going to rewind just a little bit so he can just start this exercise over to make sure that everyone who is here can pay attention and listen to do it if it's something that you're interested in. Just, you know what I'm saying?
I recommend exploring far at all of the grid. In order to increase your chances of success with a final ritual, there is a grid exercise that can be done in order to strengthen these astral senses, and sometimes, by accident, we will actually project unconsciously. I wouldn't recommend exploring far at all if this happens. Just go back to your body. First, we need to...
Okay, so if you're trying to do this and you go far away, just like he said in the video game, I'm just giving you a warning. Don't go far. Go back to your body. Okay?
pathway that we can walk down. It could be any consciously. I wouldn't recommend exploring far at all if this happens. Just go back to your body. First, we need a pathway that we can walk down. It could be any pathway, like a route from your bed to the front door, or a pathway that you can walk down without looking like a weirdo in front of your roommate. Figure it out, but basically, you need to pick a route with multiple checkpoints or different noticeable objects. Pick 5 different objects or more that for some reason just stick out to you or would be easy to remember. Now the objective is to start walking that path and with a keen eye, remember every single detail about this experience. For now, you're just using the sense of sight, but try to recall as much as you can. Take a break and try to remember the route. If there are any areas that you can't fully remember, then go down the route and try again. With consistency and practice, there will be a time where you can easily recall this route, and you must go through and remember each of the 5 objects. It's okay if there are some missing details when it comes to objects lying around or whatever, but make sure that the 5 objects you picked are as vibrant and detailed as possible. No missing details. Once you can clearly visualize yourself walking down this route to the destination and back to the source with all 5 objects clearly visualized, it's now time to move on to the next sense. In dreams, we mostly use sight and hearing, but there are occasions where you can feel and taste. The more senses you develop, the more real this astral experience will become for you. Sometimes, it may be difficult to imagine yourself walking realistically. You have to imagine as if you were really walking down this route physically, not just floating down the hallway. That's important to know. You must sit in a position, relax, and imagine yourself walking this route mentally after studying the route many times physically. You must feel all the same sensations of walking as you did when you walked the route physically. Try doing imaginary push-ups and try to feel the resistance of the ground and make the sensation in your imagination feel as much as it does in the physical. Test yourself by doing 20 imaginary push-ups. Seems like a joke, but most people don't have the mental patience or discipline to even complete this task. Explains why many struggle with finding any type of value from these experiences because they are just imagination, huh? Well, let's continue and find out. Now let's work with our astral hearing. For each of the 5 objects, assign a note, where if you are tone deaf, just think of a different mantra for each object. As you pass each object with your visualization, try to hear a different note for each point. If you can do this digitally, it may help you to download the sounds on your phone and play them as you pass each object. The same can be done with scent. Assign different smells to each object. One scent can be vanilla, another peppermint, rose, or even a type of perfume. What we are doing is developing our consciousness to focus on each one of our astral senses. You are actually projecting when you do this in the sense that you are in your astral body, but the majority of your consciousness still remains within your physical body. As you do these exercises, you are developing these other senses that will then allow for a full conscious projection in the future. At the beginning of this exercise, I mentioned that an accidental astral projection may occur. As you continually practice visualizing this route within your mind, there will come a time when you actually forget what you were just doing. You will merge into your visual as if it were a dream. If this happens, don't be alarmed, and I wouldn't look in a mirror as you're just a ghostly shape. If this happens, it should more be considered an etheric projection, as you're manipulating your etheric body with your astral body senses. This etheric body can actually be felt and experienced by others. If this happens to you, other clairvoyants can sense you under the right conditions. This is, at its most basic level, a simple remote viewing.
Shout out Alex Gray.
Like I said before, do not go too far. Sure, maybe nothing will happen, and you'll just wake up. But most of the time, you will actually forget what happens. Meaning, if you run into something you aren't supposed to, your memory can actually be wiped. Kind of a deep topic, but yeah, just trust me. Stay in your living quarters until you have mastered the discipline and protection rituals. The final method for astral projection that will be presented may seem extremely occult for some, but to others it may shed some light. Feel free to do what you will with this information, as we all have access to the same powers, and I would never promote ignorance. This method is the method that the occultists of the past used for all sorts of magical purposes. It's not just astral projection. You can create astral entities as well, but that subject has its own depth and will be for more advanced students. This method is concealed in the legend of the homunculus. Many translate this alchemical legend as literally. I'm sure many of you have seen that famous Russian YouTube channel where the guy basically makes these creatures. It's completely fake, and not what the alchemist meant by the legend. The story is of creating an artificial man, or body, in which consciousness would be contained. This method is called the body of light, and it is just an extension of yourself. This final section is based on some very profound occult knowledge and practices. Hopefully by now you have noticed that this is no ordinary New Age tutorial, and we're not sitting here trying to say, here you go visualize and attract what you want in your life. No, this is a presentation that explains what the occult even is and how to use it. You are being given this knowledge by the direction of inner powers, but there will come a time when this knowledge is known by the masses. It is already occurring, and countless numbers of people are ready to learn and use these higher powers. None of this is new, but the majority of people are completely ignorant of how this inner-outer process influences our day-to-day lives. Whether you realize it or not, you are doing magic. But now you can learn to do it consciously or on purpose, giving you more power. Now the rituals from earlier are a foundation, and you must think of these skills as depending on the foundation before it. Start with the lesser banishing ritual. If you wish to have help visualizing the blue flame, take a teaspoon of whiskey, brandy, or rubbing alcohol. If necessary, place it on some fireproof material. Do this in a dark room at night. This will produce the color of the blue flame needed. Timing is very important. Like I mentioned, there is so much to cover when it comes to magic that it can be daunting to the beginner, but different hours contain different energies. Depending on the placements of the stars, different cosmic energies feed down into the physical plane. You must keep a journal to record all of your rituals. Know what sign the moon was in when performing the visual. Are your visuals clear and very easy to conceive? Or did you struggle and the visuals were blurry?
Is that why they were all obsessed with astrology and the moon cycles?
Perform the banishing ritual.
Like all of the ancient cultures were obsessed with astrology and moon cycles and earth cycles, is because it was essential to this divine astral power that we have to be able to control the other realms, that you would need to know exactly when the moon phases were and where it was at, so you could perform specific rituals that work better at different times.
Clearly see the pentagrams. Again, you must evoke the spirits for each element. As you continue to connect with the elements, the more powerful the experience will become. We have already prepared with the path exercise from before, where we practice imagining our body walking down a specific route. I mentioned the imaginary push-ups, but more must be done in order to understand what it feels like to move these other bodies that you have. Nothing that you do here in the material realm is simply a physical action. Your physical actions extend through all the way to the top plane. You cannot do anything physical without doing something etheric, astral, mental, or casual. You use these planes all the time, and all at once. First, start by looking at your right hand. Look at it as if you've never seen it before. Hold your right hand up before you. Try both ways. Move all the parts of it every way they will go, and note the actions carefully. Then holding the palm up before you, move the thumb over the palm and the hand and say out loud, thumb. Then bend the finger down over the thumb palm and say first finger. Then bend the second finger, third finger, and say out loud.
Let's run that back real quick.
Once. First, start by looking at your right hand. Look at it as if you've never seen it before. Hold your right hand up before you. Turn it both ways. Move all the parts of it every way they will go, and note the actions carefully. Then holding the palm up before you, move the thumb over the palm and the hand and say out loud, thumb. Then bend the finger down over the thumb palm and say first finger. Then bend the second finger, third finger, and do the same. You want to mentally state the actions that you are doing. Next, sit down in a chair, close your eyes, and see an image of your inner hands doing the same movements as the physical hands. Your inner hands should appear as gray-white shadowed transparent hands before your inner eye. You need to demand with your will the movements of this other body. It doesn't work the same way as in the physical realm. These are automatic computations. In the astral, you don't move the same way. You move through a strong will. Have you ever had a dream where you can't run fast or your punches are extremely weak? This can happen to the beginner when first entering their astral bodies with full consciousness. It happens in OBE experiences all the time, where the individual will find it very difficult to move around the room and will continually sink to the ground. You must train the will in order.
The only thing about YouTube, Nikki from the Sticks, is that that Twitch can't see the YouTube chat.
order to move this astral body. That's why I was suggesting imaginative push-ups, but either will do. And for now, your statements and words will represent your will. Just make statements for what you want to do. So state in your astral hearing or voice, or demand that your hand make the appropriate actions. In this case, it's just bending our astral imaginative fingers. After a good period of time of practice, after months or even less in some cases, you should be able to see another body before you when you close your physical eyes and open your inner eyes. You should be able to see, starting with your physical hands first, a complete body before you. This body should move the same as your physical body moves, and with the same motions. This body should be able to perform simple motions at your mental orders. This is the goal, and this will be your vehicle for these adventures. Now, to strengthen this body of light, perform the lesser banishing ritual with this newly formed body in contrast to before, where we performed this ritual physically. Now, after diligent practice of commanding your astral body, go through the ritual as you did in person, but now with this new body of light. You must feel all the sensations as if they were real. The visuals in this video may be to your assistance, but you want to get...
I see that too. I see that too, all of us doing that. Wait a second, you can see the YouTube chat on there? Hell yeah. I didn't know that.
Get lost in this experience as if it were a dream. Don't fall asleep though. You must be wide awake, energized, and focused for these experiences. There should be no hurry. Physically, it may take you 10 minutes or more to perform the LBRP, so it may go by quicker as you visualize this astrally. Just take your time and forget about the time for now. You shouldn't even be thinking about how much longer it's going to take. Just enjoy the process.
And with that, we're going to bring it in close. We're going to bring it in close. You guys want to breathe with me, bro? We're so powerful, bro. If anything, dude, I just want y'all to know, bro, that I hope that throughout today's stream specifically, that even though it may seem like a whole bunch of information to digest, don't you feel like you're divine? Wasn't that information just so affirming that you are a powerful being? Doesn't that make you feel like you just have a little bit more confidence going through life, knowing that you have all of these fucking powers, bro? Take some deep breaths. Take some deep breaths. This whole astral plane thing just affirmed just like a whole bunch of this stuff that I already believed and had, and just couldn't articulate it just quite perfectly like Mind Unveiled can with the pictures and all of that stuff. And it's just so easily digestible that it almost starts resonating so much inside of me. I literally feel my brain vibrating. You're loved, you guys. So, let's see here. One more quick thing. If you guys want to support the channel, you know what time it is. Tripoverdrip.shop. Use the link that's pinned to the chat, the top of the chat. Not this one, sorry. This one. this one. Use the link that's pinned to the top of the chat. We got some new merch, bro. We got this one. If no one's told you today, I love you. And then on the back of it, it's got the I love you. Pretty fucking sick. Tripoverdrip.shop. We got the Be Not Afraid with the biblical angel. You know what I'm saying? With the freaking Be Not Afraid. Super dope. Super dope. We also got 2 new tote bags. We got the Be Not Afraid reusable bag. It's got the biblical angel all up on there on the bag. Each one of these tote bags is 100% heavy canvas that's been recycled from used jeans. The last bag we got is the reusable Tripoverdrip alien bag. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Use the link pinned to the top of the chat, tripoverdrip.shop. I love you guys. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you so much. It makes me feel so good anytime you guys are all in the Discord sporting your Tripoverdrip merch. You know what I mean? It just puts into perspective for me, bro, that it just puts into perspective into me, instead of just like speaking into a camera and then just posting it and then trying to like grasp the comments and catch up and stay caught up with everything. And when in real time, like up in the Discord, people are freaking dropping their merch, bro. It just really puts into perspective into me that I'm really making a connection with humans, and it just feels so affirming to so many of my my trauma loops that have perpetuated inside my mind for majority of my life. So I just genuinely just really love and appreciate all of you guys, for real. It just, I don't know, I just feel source or God or the universe just energetically hugging me all the time. And which then, if it's energetically hugging me right now, I energetically am just like telling my inner child that it's safe, bro, and you're okay, and your feelings matter, and nothing's gonna hurt you type shit. You know what I mean? Because that's really what all about the whole spiritual journey is, bro. And the healing journey is really just getting down deep into the core and actually just listening to your inner child talk. Listening to your inner child, you know, so that they can feel safe and heard and important and loved, you know? Because a lot of us have those inner child issues right down to the core like that. That it's just our inner child, our little human just experienced things that made them feel scared or not loved. So, hell yeah, thank you. Comedy on YouTube. Hell yeah, let's go. I appreciate you. What's up? Thank you, first time chatter. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just going to say OG. I think that's what is the intent. I don't know, maybe. Logie, Luigi, OG1, Kenobi. Please hit the follow button. Thank you. I appreciate you. I didn't get a little dance. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Peace out. I will see you guys tomorrow.